Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath. Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I wish my refund hurry up so I can have a taxitude.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I'ma be like, let me get 20 on pump 3.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Matter of fact, make it 25, and yes, I would like to donate to the March of Dimes, so ring me up that Coke and candy bar 2 for $2.22 deal where $1 goes to March 2. Oh, and ring these Skittles up for my kid too. And when the cashier tells me to have a nice day, I'm gonna be like, no ma'am, you have a blessed day, sugar.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Pull down my shades like Kim Kardashian, smile like Gabrielle Union.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Flip my bundles like Nicki Minaj and queen out the door like Beyonce.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Goofy face, goofy face, goofy face, heart, 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 muscle, muscle, muscle.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Sassy black girl, sassy black girl, sassy black girl, kiss, kiss, kiss. Hashtag so what, hashtag I ain't shame, hashtag my money, hashtag call me taxitude honey.
Live from Central Florida and from the Just Call Mo studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
It is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
We have very special guests on the couch. I got to get their cameras situated because we are live on YouTube and Twitch if you like watching podcasts, because that's what podcasts have become. Full-blown television shows. Just search at Tom and Dan Live on YouTube and Twitch.
From the show, the radio show and podcast,
I can't wait till he says this. Here we go.
Bungalore and the Bus. We have John Busdeker and Brendan O'Connor here.
Hey, hold on. We're going to get a blast in here.
I don't think we've ever been on this show together, Brendan and I.
No.
No, I thought
okay.
you must have. You must have been. We did a chat with the Masters.
I forgot.
Where we showed you guys. We were like, we took credit for all of your radio, and we said that
we or Tom?
Me and Tom.
Oh,
took
okay,
credit.
all right.
We got you on the radio.
Yeah,
right?
the first time I was on the show, I was with you, John.
Oh, all right. I just
Yeah, yeah.
forgot then.
You just filed it away under unnecessary information.
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you and I, Tom, we've gotten a lot of people on radio.
Yeah,
like, we are the radio makers.
I got a lot of people
Kingmakers.
on cocaine.
Yeah, we do. We are.
You get a radio. You get a radio.
And there's more to come. We're going to make more stars. We
that a
thought,
good thing
full
or not?
transparency, we thought you guys are really going to be our guys. We did.
But
We
we're
did,
not?
but you're not, and that's why we had to fire up Ross Patch and Joel, and then we're like, we get these guys going, and they're not our guys either.
I was gonna say, and they're doing great.
I know. Every time we invest in somebody, they fail, and they don't do what we do because we're big dick in tiny underwear. Right?
I like that.
Yeah, I know you do.
I was going to protest, but now
I know you like that
captivated.
analogy. Exactly. That's why I said it, because I knew you like the Vayners.
Yeah.
There would have been more, but some people refused.
That is true. Some people don't even want the job.
Yeah.
No, you guys are fine. You're doing fine.
You won an award.
You did. You did.
We did?
In Orlando Magazine.
Best podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, Orlando Magazine's best podcast. I think we won it one year, and then the year after us, a little girl that does a Christian podcast won the same award, and I was like, well, this means nothing. That's what I said.
Did you listen to her podcast? Was
I
it
did.
any good?
I did listen to it, but I make a point if you, and this is true.
It's easy to believe in Jesus when you're 6.
Exactly. Exactly.
You haven't
But if
seen
you want me to
anything.
listen to your kid's podcast, I will not judge it.
No.
And I've had plenty of people go, listen to this, and I'll listen to a kid's podcast. I'm not gonna say one word about it because that's not the business I'm in.
What's a kid's podcast talk about?
I mean,
Life.
this one,
Like kid problems?
they
Like,
sang little
It's a
songs.
hard
and then
knock life.
they
for
did
us.
like, that's why it doesn't work. Kids don't want this. Kids don't want a fucking podcast.
Little orphan Annie.
She was homeschooled, so it was extra credit. That's literally, she has no friends.
I guess I'm thinking of like an alt-right kids podcast.
Oh, yeah. That
Yes.
would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll write that down.
Is that going to be your next radio stars?
I can
Yes.
get Tommy to do this.
He does have the blonde hair.
Yeah, he
Yeah, just
does.
write down
Oh
what
my
to say.
Oh, that little Aryan baby.
My God. Get him a little, like, he needs a dog whistle hat with a 1488 or something on there. Something to
He's a
really
1%.
show
He's a
everybody.
1%.
Yeah,
Or a
show him
John
that he's really
Busdeker
sneaky.
comb over.
Yeah, 3%. Show he's real sneaky. He knows all the
A
lingo.
John Busdeker comb over with a hard part.
Yeah. How are you that liberal to look as conservative as you look? My God. And if one more person sends me the picture of the fudge pop guy,
Yeah, you look exactly like the fudge
you
pop
look
guy.
like the fudge pop
I
guy.
should go one year as Halloween as the Fudge Pop guy.
If you carried the box of what brand is it?
It was
Is
like
it Good Humor? No, it's not Good Humor.
I always think that's Harry Anderson, but I don't know if it is Harry Anderson.
No, it's
No,
not.
no,
it's
it's-
you.
it's
And
all right.
everyone knows
There's some ice cream nerd. And everybody.
It's a big dick ice cream nerd. Everybody knows it. Every time I look at that ice cream package and I see the little farmer hat and he's holding and he's making a face.
That's John?
Yeah, it looks like
Maybe
John.
this is my year.
Do you want me to pull it up?
I've seen it 100 times.
I'm sure you don't have a Halloween costume already.
No, I don't.
I know I said Halloween like that. Halloween.
Okay, we're going to talk about Halloween costumes, but before that,
Oh, good.
let me remind everybody that if you're a BDM, we have a BDM event, a BDM only event tomorrow. I'm just going to go ahead and put out all the details.
You're just gonna do it?
You
You're just
guys-
gonna go
like I
with
said,
it? All right, yeah. Just do it.
But
Let's just do it.
It's at a hollow box. It's from 6 to 9. We're doing an Oktoberfest party. We got
are.
some contests. We
Say
got
it
a
again,
beer
but more
puppeteer.
excited.
Well,
Like you really want
Okay.
people to show up.
okay, well, I'm worried about it. Okay.
You think too many people are going to show up?
No,
Having
no,
an
no.
Oktoberfest.
Because I feel like if I
Lederhosen.
oversell it and then people show up, they're like,
Oh.
Want me to
Not
explain
that
it?
good.
You want me to explain it? He's afraid.
Yeah.
He's afraid that people don't know. Like we've outlined what it is. It's a cool hang at
I
Hollow
feel
Box.
like your fans know what to expect.
We have live
Yeah, I
music.
know. I
We have
do
live
too.
music. We have some loose games that we're going to be running throughout, and we're going to be doing some Stein holding. We have beer puppeteer in the corner over there. It's going to be really fun. But
Loose games was my
he's
high school
afraid
nickname.
of the guy that in his mind, and I'll create the guy. There's a guy in his mind, and it could be real and it could be fake, that walks in and looks around and is like, "What the fuck is this bullshit?
No, no, no.
There's nothing good. There's no music. Nothing fun.
No, there is
There's
music.
nothing. No
No,
food.
there's-
No drinks.
No,
fuck
there's all
this
that.
shit. And fuck Tom and Dan and fuck their show."
no. Because,
And then he says the audio doesn't work here either.
Right? Is that what? Is,
no,
right?
it's not
Where's
even that.
Brenda's big titties? That's
Not-
what they'll say.
It's not even that exaggerated. I'm just, because you sell like, come out to this Oktoberfest
I
extravaganza.
have never said that. We've never said
Oktoberfest, big
But we've
Oktoberfest.
never said that. We've never said Oktoberfest, big Oktober, and we've never screamed "come out." We've never been "come out."
Well,
It's
that's what-
amazing.
Well, that's a Brenda. Oh, Brenda.
You get what you
I'm sorry, Brenda.
So wait,
You're
are you-
rattled today.
Are you just trying to set the bar low? That way you
Yeah.
can exceed
Yes.
expectations.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how he got,
Well,
that's how
we
he got his
don't-
wife.
We really don't like disappointing people, and we have before, right?
Oh.
We've done events before that we're like, we could have made that a little bit better.
And people were like, "Oh, I was disappointed."
And I think you're always trapped in we could have made it a little
I guess-
better, land, right? Like
they don't-
afterwards, no
they-
matter what, if it's good or not, you're gonna go like we could have made that better.
They don't say it, but I see it in their eyes.
Do you guys ever
It's
do
a
that
sadness.
with one of your events? Do you ever look around and you're like, "Oh man, this
I'll
is-
be honest. I was at an
Yeah.
event last night where I for Come Out with Pride, and my part was from 8:30 to 9:30, and I nailed it. I
Nice.
nailed it.
Nice.
I felt really good. My boobs were full of cash, and then And then I got everybody. I had to take people from Gnarly Barley to the Hammered Lamb, and they were all hanging out at the Hammered Lamb, but their dancers didn't start, and their drag queens didn't start until 11. So there was like 2 hours of people just like hanging out.
Oh, that's the
And
worst.
I was like, big miss, y'all.
Yeah.
Big miss.
Yeah.
Pay me some more, and maybe I'll shake myself up on the stage. But like, I ended up just hanging out just because there was a gap. But yeah, I felt bad for the people who were kind of there stuck between.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
everybody's like, "What's happening? What's
Yeah,
happening?"
what's-
They
right.
really are
I know.
and they're like 2 hours.
I know.
Ugh.
And I
Yeah.
started pulling stuff out of my bag. I had sparklers, and I was,
Yeah,
and
you
I
start,
wax lips.
and you go into like fight or flight mode where you think.
Yeah, it
that-
wasn't even my van.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think
Oh.
that is what we deal with though, because we just want you to come and have a good time, and we want to sort of manage expectations.
that.
And it's hard. It's hard. We don't want to disappoint folks.
Because we care.
Well,
We do.
Okay, I'm sorry I made fun of you.
No, it's a comedy show. I'm glad you're here.
Speaking of an event that can't disappoint,
Oh.
because one of the biggest stars of my entire
Yeah.
childhood and seriously like
This
the
is
biggest
huge.
pop culture icon in my life I could think of is coming to the Museum of Art, and they partnered with us to promote it.
Yeah.
wow.
And
the push exhibit's gonna be killer, man.
so they have this push exhibit at the Museum of Art, and it's Grant Britton. He's a 80s skateboard photographer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a skateboard photographer his whole career.
All the magazines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have you have you seen the exhibit?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
But I've written about it. I've seen the photos.
They
We're
gave
supposed
her-
to go. We're supposed
You're
to go.
and you're supposed to do a bonus episode.
Yeah, I got to
interview.
email the lady. But yes.
Well, hold on a second.
They
You
are-
stay the hell off our clients. You get the hell out of here. We're doing some work for them.
They gave me and Danielle a
Yeah.
private tour. No big deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
with
we-
Coralie, the
We-
French
we
woman.
actually-
Yeah,
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 we
yeah.
went- I mean, she's very sweet. Is
She's
she not?
gorgeous.
You know what?
The
She's so
hurricane was
nice.
literally blowing through, like water was coming through the ceiling at the
she's
time.
French, and she's like, I have heard the Busdeker wants to be here, but we will not facilitate that. But you and Tom, if you would like to walk around,
Yeah,
I
you
would-
can escargot
And then
anywhere
she took,
you want.
She took us around private tour, like Tom said, no big deal. She liked us.
It's-
She thought we were really cute and cool.
So Grant Britton is bringing in Tony Hawk. That's his friend, and they're doing a discussion first. And they have a mini auditorium in the Museum of Art. This is really cool.
It's
like,
a great stage.
So
It's
yeah,
a great
yeah.
theater.
The
I was like,
venue
we
is
should do
hidden.
stuff here.
Yeah,
Like,
that,
it's a
that
good
little
podcast
venue
event,
there
yeah.
it's such a cool.
It's
little,
intimate too.
Yeah, it's a tiny little stage. It's imagine like
Not
any.
too tiny.
Well, it's no, but it's manageable, but it's also
Yeah.
like awesome. Like
Yeah,
it's got
I don't
like,
even know where that is at
it's
the art
hard.
museum.
It's just a
To
door.
the left. Just
all
a
right.
door.
I was always looking right when I
You
went
would
in.
never know. You would never know.
I did a presentation there once.
Ah.
I did a talk. Yeah.
There also is a meet and greet with Tony Hawk and Grant Britton that
And Tom and Dan.
is beforehand.
Oh,
Well,
we're there more just to meet Tony.
To have a breathe
yeah,
behind him.
yeah.
He's featured in the photographs.
Yes,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
exhibit, yeah.
yeah. And then
Young Tony Hawk.
they so you could purchase tickets to that. It's at omart.org, omart.org.
Yep.
Or you can go to tomanddan.com. It's on the front page. And there's limited for the VIP meet and greet. But for the town hall discussion, which me and Daniel are going to be at as
Yeah,
well.
we're gonna be at that.
And
Are you hosting it? Like
No,
you're asking
no,
the question?
we're just
Oh.
there as fans.
Oh, all right. I thought you
No.
guys
Yeah,
were like
no.
facilitating the
No.
conversation.
Well,
No,
I just
$100
want to see Tony Hawk.
Is it $100?
Yeah, for the general
Yeah.
admission
Yeah,
tickets.
okay.
It's more for the meet and greet, but the meet and greet only has 75 tickets, and we already bought a couple. One for our buddy Tony Munjet because we're like, he's just gonna blow
We
it up.
gotta hook up our
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
like that.
Well, he's a skateboarding photographer, so it's like it's the
Yeah.
greatest gift we can give him.
And I'm like, this is gonna sell
Yeah.
out. We're just gonna buy them.
I mean, the guy is a legitimate skateboard photographer and vlogger, so I'm like, well, this is the best
That's
gift we can
great.
ever give our friends.
So for general admission tickets, use promo code Tom and Dan, and it'll get you passes to go back into the Orlando Museum of Art to see the actual exhibits
And more.
And the punk rock exhibit they got there is
And
awesome
the
as
Little
well.
Golden Book exhibit,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
somehow works with the punk rock really
I
well.
want to see that. Really
Yeah,
bad.
I
Oh
gotta
my
go.
God! It flows seamlessly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it would work, but you go through all the punk rock stuff, and then when you actually see the Little Golden Book, and it's the real art from the books, it's crazy. Like
They do some great shows there. Their Florida Prize show that was just there.
Yeah,
where it's all
yeah,
Florida
yeah.
artists. So good.
the
every
guitar
year.
collection that's in there right now is incredible. Those are really cool. You
I
can
did-
check that
what?
out.
This is embarrassing, but it was my first time going into the.
Oh, wow.
You
the
don't go to
Orlando
art
Museum.
museums? Who would have thought that Tom is
This
not
guy,
a...
we get there.
guy.
Because the lady was French, he freaked out, took his shoes off.
I did
Started
hope.
walking around like we're like in some
smoking?
Asian house or
He's
something.
smoking cigarettes in there.
I did hold myself back from screaming, "Ooh-wee, this place is big time." Because I was like, this is like a
Holy
big time.
shit, I done
Did you like
made
it?
Yeah, no, I was like, this is an actual
He
museum of
looked,
art.
he looked around and he put his hands on his
like-
hips. He looked
like
around
a-
and he put his hands on his hips like this. He goes, so this is Omar.
It's super nice. Anyway.
Yeah, it
Why
is
does
really
it sound
cool.
Middle Eastern?
We also got a great chuckle out of like, and I said this in the ad. I'm like, hey, when you think science, Tom and Dan. When you think history of Florida, Tom and Dan. And when you think art, Tom and Dan. We're your guys, man. We are your culture men.
I don't want to brag, but we've had these guys as clients for a while.
But you're smart. But you're smart. It's when we get
You're
okay,
expected
you know what
to
it
have
is?
that.
You know what it is? I'm going to give you the example. You know what it is? It's
What?
Susan Boyle.
Oh,
It's William Hung. It's like the when the unfortunates do it, that's what it's special.
unfortunate.
Yeah, we're unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
mean to yourselves.
people fully expect our only sponsors to be Kava lounges, and fireworks, and smoke shop.
Hi, it's Dan for fireworks and Kratom because they go hand in hand.
Fireworks and kratom.
That's all we sell. That's what people expect.
You're
but
funny.
we do sell fireworks, though.
We do.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
we do.
good.
Kratom, we would sell it, but it's killing a lot of dads out there.
It is?
Oh, the
They
body.
advertise.
The
We'll
trail
sell
of
anything.
bodies.
Well, if they're smoking kratom, they're probably shitty anyway.
Well, they're not smoking the kratom. They're just taking too much of it. I think a
No.
lot of
do you
dads
do
out
it-
there.
How do you do it?
You do it with like a plastic spoon.
That's just heroin.
Yeah. No, you don't burn anything.
Oh, all right.
You guys have never done kratom?
I thought you smoked
Oh
it.
my God! Send our
No.
listener friend to go get some kratom. Will you go get some kratom and we'll all do it?
I'm
You
not
wanna do
doing
some
it.
kratom?
I'm
Yeah, you
not
wanna get
doing
fucked
it.
up on
Is that the
kratom?
I'm not doing it.
Let's all get so fucked up on kratom.
Wait,
Let's
is
see
that
what
the
starts
same as
puking.
Kava or not?
No.
It's in the
Oh.
same family.
All right.
It's in the same
fine.
family. These are all roots that primitive
Roots.
people grind up, and then when you eat them,
No.
they make you vomit.
I guarantee there's nothing organic in kratom.
It's all organic. Green Sumatra, red Sumatra.
It's in the name.
Yeah, we dabbled with it for
Spelled with a K.
We
Wait, who's
dabbled, we dabbled with it for a hot minute, and to a point where Tom and I looked at each other. We're like, I think we're addicted.
Yeah.
And we had to stop. We had to pull
No.
back.
It makes me think of sativa.
No, it's nothing like
It's
sativa.
less powerful than weed.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
we're
less
all
powerful
on
than
weed.
but it feels like you take a little a little thing of green dust, right?
Uh-huh.
And you put it in your mouth with
No.
some water, and it
Wait, is
tastes
this
like
the kratom
tea.
or the Kava?
This is kratom.
All right.
And it tastes like sort of like a tea.
Uh-huh.
And then you swallow it with some water, and it goes down. And then about 3 to 4 minutes later, you're like, whoa, I took a pain pill. That's what it feels
Oh,
like.
I don't like
It doesn't last very long.
No.
Give me all your pain pills.
I got some.
Light pain pills?
yeah.
yeah.
Score. Weekend score.
I had surgery. They gave me they gave me opiates, and I was
you
having.
take 'em?
I did. I was having like terrors, like night
That's the
terrors.
that's the part I like. I got to
Oh,
ride around.
I was caught in a loop. Like
Oh,
I just
yeah,
couldn't.
that's what
I
I
was
like.
like,
That's why I have the pain pill
yeah.
night terror loop.
You didn't like that?
People steal your radio for that.
Tylenol and pot. That's how I immediately stopped. Tylenol and pot.
Okay.
I was perfectly fine. Yeah.
There's nothing like a good pain pill,
The pain pill
night terror loop.
Scotty couldn't deal with it. He made me sleep on the couch.
I can't deal with your night terror.
Every 15 seconds, you're screaming.
I screamed. I kept hitting him. I was like
Oh,
punching
my
him.
God.
Then when
No.
you stop, you shit your pants.
Yeah, no, you don't. When you stop, you
Oh.
can't shit. At
No,
least
no,
for me.
no, you can shit you can't shit when you're on it.
Yeah.
When you stop, you
Johnny, wanna
diarrhea
do it?
because it's like
Yeah, yeah.
the
I
constipation.
took one Tylenol 3 one time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then I threw them all away.
You don't.
Oh,
That's
my
how nerds
God.
do.
You
I
probably
know,
took
I
them to
know.
that thing, right, where they're like, if you have unwanted medication, you can show up at
I've
the
done that.
VFW and you
Yeah.
soak it in a barrel in front of some old people.
Just throw it away.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
just
take
throw
it.
it away. Then it gets in our water bodies, and then our fish grow testicles. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Is
Is
that
a
what you-
largemouth
is
bass
People
swimming
love-
around?
Is that what you want, Brendan?
Brendan watches Fox News, comes on our show, just yells things.
It's what I heard. It's what I heard. I saw it on TV. I saw it on TV.
That's the wrong news. For that.
He's your first
you
guest
wanna-
on Tommy's alt-right podcast.
Do you want to do this email? This is a goodie
Yeah,
from
yeah.
our buddy Ryan. It says, "Good morning, show. Halloween is right around the corner, and one of my favorite things to talk about is really bad Halloween costumes or unpopular ones that nobody understands. Tom's story about Crystal's questionable face paint in her Bridezilla costume is near the top of the list, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it and smile when she sold me my
Wait.
house.
Pervert.
Wait, was she dressed in blackface or something?
That's what I'm hearing.
This is a dangerous story to tell.
Sounds like it was a muddy green.
Yeah, this
Was
was
it a dark color?
Justin Trudeau scenario.
No,
She
no.
was starring in Aladdin.
Jim
Jasmine?
Jim Colbert was doing his annual Halloween. This is like 15 years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, all right, you're trying to. It was a long time ago.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
Trudeau knows. It was acceptable.
In Canada, there's no black people in Canada.
And-
He doesn't know.
So Colbert was like, come dress as, don't be a party pooper. Because my whole life I've been party pooper. It's not even just now.
Yeah, I don't.
I didn't wanna do it
I
back
will
then.
vouch for that. I think in all the time, if being on the Monster, everything that I did, any Halloween party,
Just
he
Tom
wouldn't
pooping on
dress out
parties.
because luckily he had the bear suit. Like that's not even a diss. It's just like I think you lucked out because you're like, yes, I don't
I'll
have
just
to
wear this shit.
Yeah, I'll just wear this shit.
But
You had a
so
uniform.
the crystals, like I have this old like bride's dress.
Yeah.
You know,
Like the one she got married in with you?
no.
She
It was
she had
a
multiple
couple others.
Yeah,
She had a couple other dresses.
There was a bunch of drunk at the bear weddings back in the day.
all the goof weddings. She had extra dresses later.
We did them multiple times. And radio, you just recycle the same thing over and over.
Exactly. Why do you think Mr. Beast is doing $1 million hotel, dollar hotel? You know,
Was
like,
she like,
$1
so
million
when you
plane,
really
dollar-
when you really got married, was she like, is this a goof wedding or is this our
They
real
needed
wedding?
money.
We celebrate two different wedding anniversaries. There's a real one, that actually legal one, and then there's a family. Anyway, stop asking questions, Busdeker. So she had this bride's dress, and then she wanted to go as Bridezilla. So my buddy Andres at the time, he's like, I can do professional face makeup.
Well, the one thing
I
that
don't
a
know
lot of the Miami guys have in common is just the inherent confidence in everything they do. You know, they're just like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do movie quality makeup all over your face.
And then so Chris like, oh, can you make my face look like Bridezilla? You know, like I'll go.
Absolutely, I can do the scales.
Yeah,
I like
you know,
Is
like
it
a
Scarface?
Godzilla.
Well, he's Spanish, yeah.
If I'm like, can you do Godzilla face, and I'll go in, a bride's dress.
Yeah.
Speciesist.
And then I was gonna go as King Kong, marrying Bridezilla, and because I had
He had a gorilla mask from role play.
and then I had like a black suit.
Okay.
And then Andres, we're all drunk, by the way. It's a different time. They're all younger and like late 20s. And then so in Deltona, Crystal's sitting there, and Andres is like doing the makeup for a long time, and then he does a move where he turns her around to the mirror. Voila! and then
masterpiece is born.
and it's essentially he just painted her whole face and shoulders and neck and everything like a dark green.
Dark green. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
started trying to accent it and actually make some like
black eye on St. Patrick's Day.
Like some
it is
gills.
dark green.
and then
dark.
but it was green though.
Yeah,
but it
green
was a
tint.
darker green.
Green tint. You know, like when you look at
And
a
there was
car
no-
and it'll be like black with a blue tint. It was like black with a green tint.
And then so immediately Chris was like, "What the fuck? It doesn't look like anything like Godzilla.
Yeah.
There's no gills, nothing." And then he's like,
It's
"Yeah."
just
He's like, "I started with the gills. I had to kind of fade them in like
Yeah,
a tattoo.
smooth them out.
Smooth it out."
He's using those watercolor crayons. like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're using the finest of makeup from Walgreens, I bet, you know?
So then because we're already late, I was like, "Let's go. It's fine. We're just going to Jimmy's house. It doesn't matter. Like whatever." Like
If that had been your face, you never would have left.
There
that
are
house.
photos of this,
And then
right?
so we
Or did you guys get rid of them?
Well, we got to Jimmy's house. He's like, you have to hose that off outside. You can't. There's
you can't
Jim
go inside.
Phillips is here. You can't wear this inside my house.
I mean, it is jarring. If you had any black guests there, like you walk in, it's like, oh.
He was like, "I'll put this on the internet."
Yeah, you know what?
I'll get blamed for this.
You honestly
you're
have
nothing.
to walk
You're
up to
nobody.
black guests and be like, there is a green tint to it. You know, like, you don't want to you're like talking to him and explaining it.
What's up?
That's the last thing you want to do, Brendan.
What's up?
Ryan continues. He says, for me, the worst costume I ever did was in 2019. I was incredibly excited to do it and thought it would be a hit. I readied my baggy Jinkos, donned my tall tee.
Oh, he's a juggalo, right?
Yep. He placed a great Malenko medallion around my neck and applied the most accurate Shaggy 2 Dope face paint known to man.
Nice.
I was dressed as a juggalo and I was down to clown. That night, I arrived at my friend's Halloween party, and nobody knew what I was supposed to be.
You got lame friends.
I spent the entire night having to explain
Yeah.
what a juggalo was, telling people I was not a hip-hop version of the Crow, and reassuring them that juggalos are a real thing.
What?
To this day, I wonder if I severely overestimated the mainstream notoriety of ICP.
No, you just have shitty friends.
or if I simply run in a circle of closed-minded nerds who know nothing about music.
B.
Yeah.
For Halloween, I think it is important to be recognizable, and I'll probably go as a sheet ghost every year going forward.
Sexy sheet ghost.
As we all know, one frat boy in a sloth mask can beat out all highly detailed avatar costumes at any bar costume contest, so that's the point anyway. Or what's the point anyway? Keep it spooky. Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan's in a crisis.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, other than me, I don't ever think, and I think we've done this before, I don't think I ever had a Halloween costume that I, like, legitimately hated.
I have had multiple.
Hated?
Oh yeah. Like one time I went as Baba Yaga. I was a witch. I did like a facial prosthetic, big chin, saggy big boobies. I was this witch, and I had this staff with this like light up thing on the end, and I went to Parliament House, and I was like, I'm gonna nail this costume contest.
Yeah.
And they used to promenade like every single person who was at Parliament House. It was like, 1,000 people.
Like a meat market.
Well, it was like that anyway. But, but for the Halloween contest, you had to, one at a time, you'd go out on the stage by the pool, and I was so ready, and I went up there, and everybody had been so loud, and then I went up, and everybody got so quiet, and I heard somebody in the front go, "What the fuck?"
Why were they so mad about it?
And I was like, "Oh, Halloween's ruined."
beating to
And I
death
stormed
somebody
off.
with my staff.
Yeah.
The fuck, man?
what
Why
was
did they
wrong
say
with
that?
that?
What a dickhead.
Was it
What the fuck? Well, because it was so like everybody got quiet.
But,
Like,
but
what
hold
is
on a
this?
second.
Well, what were the other costumes?
Hold
What were
on.
they?
You're an artist. I see even when you're fucking around with
No,
dumb
it
shit,
was
you'll be
bad.
like, was it? You're an
Apparently,
artist.
nobody knew what the fuck it was. They
Yeah,
didn't
but
know
that's
they
not- I don't
didn't read
care.
witch.
I don't know what a
You-
Baba Yaga is.
Like a witch.
To be
It's a
fair.
gay witch.
All right.
Everybody knows that.
Okay, I have no idea. When you said you were a Baba Yaga, I was like, you can't say that.
I just screamed
I was
it's
like,
a
you can't
gay
say that
witch.
word.
I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never
but
heard
it's
the
got-
term.
I did a Yeti once.
Maybe those men didn't like your boobs.
I don't know. They didn't like anything.
Yeah, maybe you
the
should've been
person
a-
who won though was like a My Fair Lady. This guy was in My Fair Lady
Yeah,
drag.
play
but
your audience,
But it was
man.
made with playing cards. Like his
Oh my
whole,
God.
he had a huge, massive dress and a huge hat, and everything was made with playing cards. He must have spent like $10,000 on his outfit.
My God.
I know.
Yeah,
I never went back.
anytime there's a costume
you.
contest
It's my fault they closed.
and there's professionals in there, it is unfair. Like when the people
Well-
have crazy professional.
Well, but they
Great
always go
stuff.
like, "Hey, well, what's your definition of professional?" I'm my own boss, and sometimes I sub out at Universal. That's a professional. You're a professional. Like if you are
Yeah,
a
you-
contracted
Yeah.
airbrush guy at Universal, you're a professional.
Like Ross Paget should be, what's his face?
Shaggy.
Shaggy every year.
Every
yeah.
year.
Shaggy Two Dope. And
Yeah.
Shaggy. Maybe a Shaggy who's Shaggy Two Dope. That's a good idea. He can have that
Wait,
one.
so Shaggy
Dressed as the Juggalo.
So then he's Shaggy too.
Shaggy,
Yeah.
Shaggy.
That's a good idea.
Shaggy.
I'll text him. He
There's
should
some
go with that.
explanations in there, though.
Yeah,
too.
comedians love it when you text them ideas and then say, you can have them. They love that. You should do that. You should do
So I'm curious, Brendan. In Canada,
Do they have Halloween? Is that a thing?
Is it
Did you
different, though?
dress up as a kid in Canada for Halloween? Okay, I
Yeah,
don't
Halloween's
know.
my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we always did it up at my house. I remember one year though it snowed. It was a crazy blizzard. Like generally speaking, back in the day when young, we had to dress up over our snowsuits.
Okay, so
Because
you
it
put
was
the
getting-
costume over.
Oh,
Yeah.
So every costume you wear, you're going to
It
look
was
big and fat.
Yeah. And I got it was a blizzard one year. I remember my dad must have been stoned. He must have been. And I walked behind the car in the blizzard, and he backed up, and he hit me, and I ended up like on top of the car, like because I
Just
slid
call
on
Mo.
the
That
snow.
happens. Just call Mo.
Slid up on the snow onto the car, and he was like,
Wait a
"Brandon,
minute,
are you okay?" And I was
Why
like,
did your dad back over you?
Because he's a stoner, and he's a bad dad. He just wasn't looking.
This is in between him on the naked rope swing, right?
Yeah.
This guy living his best life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Canada. Your dad's a real man. He's like, oh shit! All right, get back in the
Yeah,
car.
That's exactly what it is. Let's go to the next house.
Yeah, get in here, eh? Let's go.
Thanks for cleaning the window.
Yeah, no more ice, eh?
Now, I'm curious what little John Busdeker was in the
God.
mean streets of Detroit.
Yeah.
8 Mile.
So you
Chucky.
asked me. I had to think about this because I couldn't remember all my costumes. I even texted
really?
my mom. She hasn't got back to me yet.
You're an October baby too. So
Yeah,
it
I
must
was
have been
born
a
on the
big deal.
12th. But I know one year I was definitely Drew Carey.
What kid wants to be Drew?
From whose line is it anyway?
From the Drew Carey show.
Because you
Oh my
were
God.
Because you were. A
I
little,
was Mimi one time.
I was a little chubby.
Yeah,
when
he was a
I
little chonker.
So
Yeah.
it sort of fit. I had kind of a buzz cut.
You
so.
do look like Ozempic Drew Carey.
I just wore a suit and I had black rimmed glasses. So I don't think
and
anybody.
he's a pervert, like is it? Right? Isn't Drew Carey like a super pervert?
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
I think he is. I think if you look it up, I think this guy is a noted.
He was in the Navy.
Yeah.
No, he was a Marine actually.
Marine.
Yeah. He was
Oh,
a
that
Marine.
just means you're gay.
I know. I get excited. I get excited when a guy tells me he was in the Navy.
No, I think he's a pervert. I think
Oh, really?
I think he's a confirmed pervert
Oh,
like
that's
Kenny.
too bad.
So, what were you, Busdeker?
Definitely Drew Carey. I know I was the
That's a
Blues
great
Brothers
one.
one time. My
that's a
friend
good
and
one.
I
I did
went
that one
together.
too. I did that one too. My buddy
yeah.
Dave, we did Blues Brothers.
Uh-huh.
It's funny how little
one.
boys that like comedy, we had no business watching that.
No.
You
I
know,
was
you didn't
probably
get 12.
the
the really dirty jokes.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but I did love the Blues Brothers. Oh, I thought it was so cool. The megaphone on the top of the retired police car is like, oh my God,
Do you
I'll
ever go
have
to-
that.
Do you ever go to Whiskey Lou's to hang out with the Blues Brothers statues?
No, I've never been to. I've only been to Whiskey Lou's one time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, they're there. Waiting for you.
I've never traveled to see a statue. Not that good. And I'm
I
like,
thought you liked art.
Liberty, Statue of Liberty. That could be one.
I'm like, they'll be there later.
I don't think I ever did a bad one.
Ever?
A Halloween costume?
No, I don't think I did.
What was
I
your
went-
favorite?
My favorite, I used to go as a Dracula, like a vampire, and it was
Every year?
It was the classic. Well, I had a
Because he loved his cape.
I did have a nice cape. We had my mom sewed me a satin cape. This is back when your mom would make your shit and make
Yeah.
it nice. I had nice pants, a satin cape. I had a real tuxedo shirt. I had the black buttons. I had the medallion with the cameo of the man's head, you know. I had, but my buddy David Martin, my mom's friend, he was a choir director at our church. He really was an artist.
Where's this going?
And he was an airbrush guy.
Mom's friend.
Choir director.
But she was the organist. And he and he airbrushed my face.
Brendan's an organist too.
Yeah, I know he is.
It's on my LinkedIn.
Let me airbrush you. Take off your shirt. I'll airbrush your body.
He did. He would airbrush my body completely white. Yeah.
He
Well, he wouldn't
insisted
airbrush
every
my
year.
penis. He kept it in his mouth. He said
Just to keep the paint off
keep the
of it.
paint off of it. You know him.
Yeah, it's what my uncle said to me.
You know David.
Yeah, my uncle used to do that for me.
This
every
guy's
time.
still alive.
When my uncle
He's
used
just
to
gonna get back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
him, and he's gonna write me. He's gonna be like, "You told people you put your penis in my mouth while I was airbrushing
No, and
your
you're like,
body."
no. I said you put my penis in your mouth.
I guess when you think about it now, you can't really say those things anymore. I mean, there was a time when you trusted your friends. Like that was a time when my mom could drop me off at David Martin's house and he could airbrush me in his back computer
knew,
room, and
she
it was
knew.
no big deal.
She had to. She owed him money.
Yeah.
It was a deal.
I was thinking about that. In the 80s, you could
do that.
You could drop your kid off at an old
Anywhere.
Asian man's house so he can learn karate. You don't know what the hell he's doing in there.
We did like 3 months of the karate the rest of the time.
You okay? I feel like there was more to that story, John.
We're realizing some things today.
Do we need to unpack something right
I
now?
was saying, it was fine back then.
What about you? Like you, I've seen your cowboy.
Yeah,
Because that's the one you still have, right?
But it's funny because
The irony of you, the guy that doesn't care about any of that stuff, and you're the one that kept your costume, which is really cool.
Wait,
Well,
how
'cause-
old? How old? Like a little kid cowboy?
yeah, it was.
He
still
I was-
got it.
I was like 5 years old.
It's really cool that he still has it, because when you see it, you're like, oh shit, it's like stepping back in time. I wish I kept that
What do you mean you
stuff.
still have it? Like you have like the shirt and stuff?
My wife kept the whole costume.
whole
then
costume.
we dressed my son. I forgot
How
Tommy
cool
or
is
Max.
that? How cool is
He
that?
wore it one year. And
Straight
then,
people, eh?
Wait, what are you talking about? It's basically the Village People.
I know Trump keeps playing. He's playing YMCA and all of his
Loves
things.
it.
I but even I've told the story before, but in like third grade, I was like, I'm not dressing up anymore. And then I showed up
You
at
aged
school,
out fast.
and then my teacher thought I was poor and couldn't afford an outfit. They brought me to the office because they had a bunch of like outfits.
Make you a wig out of yarn here, buddy.
And
They
they
made you get dressed up?
No, they were just like, we have some. They were trying to be
With
like
some lice-ridden flannel.
they were trying to be
Here's
nice.
a sandwich, buddy. You ever had a sandwich?
They didn't want to make me feel bad, so they brought me. They're like, "Oh, you can pick out," and I'm like, "No, I didn't."
Here's
want.
a teddy
My
bear one of
mom
the
was-
resource officers gives the kids that are abused. You want to hold that
So
for
you're
a little
always
bit.
on the spectrum.
No, well, my son's like that. It's not even that. It just didn't like fun that much. Like,
I wonder
You're a
if it
party
just-
pooper.
the idea of
Yeah.
putting on something to draw attention is not. I don't
Yeah,
think,
they like it.
yeah.
My son Tommy
I
does.
loved it.
Doesn't like it that much either. Like he'll do it, but even now, like still hasn't picked out a costume, and it's it's around the corner. Like Max already has his. Like
What's he
you
gonna
know,
do? Oh, he has
the
another
inflatable garbage.
yeah.
He
You
likes
get
the
mad.
Chinese garbage. I'm like,
And
don't you want
being
to?
a Target employee, she has one red vest. That's all she wants.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
the lamest shit I've ever seen.
But she loves that.
She does love
She's
it.
in on the joke. Because, like,
No,
she'll
so
tell
this is
people.
this is what she wanted. There is no joke. She thinks it's cool.
She wants to be a Target employee.
Yeah, she thinks that's cool. And
I
it
love
really
it.
reinforced it when Andrea said that she worked at Target, and it was almost like, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, because I wanted her to do something cooler and more fun, but that's not.
She likes normcore.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
likes normcore.
That's
100%.
cool. That's cool.
All right, before we take a break,
Yes, sir.
I did. I was searching the internet. I was like, "What is popular for Halloween?"
What is
this year?
popular?
Well,
Question mark.
and
What
then
is internet?
and then I stumbled upon inappropriate costumes. They're like, you should
Oh
definitely.
yeah, stumbled upon.
And then I picked out 3 ones that I approve for comedy.
Okay.
One is Olympic Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Which
he
I feel
looks
like
great.
anybody could pull off with the whole Olympic jumpsuit.
I thought you were going to say that. My number one, and we're going to see a ton of these, is going to be ray guns. There's going to be
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
there
many
is ray guns,
That'll
yeah.
be your number one.
Yeah.
For ladies especially. It'll
I
be.
don't know why.
She's the Australian breakdancer.
Oh, yeah.
Ray gun.
The kangaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy holding baby oil.
And full blackface.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's up to you.
Oh,
Okay.
That'll be at Wall Street.
green.
Oh, wait.
for
What if you
sure.
go white? Okay, hold on. What if you combine?
What if you're the baby?
What
oil?
if I'm the State Puff Marshmallow Man as Puff Daddy holding baby oil?
Okay,
And I'm
yeah.
Stay Puff Daddy holding baby oil.
Yeah.
There you
Some
go.
variation.
Yeah, Stay Puff Daddy.
I like that?
Last comedy one I saw was migrant worker with lobster bib, but instead of a lobster, it's a dog.
Oh, yeah, dog bib.
Yeah.
Dude, that's good.
Cats and dogs. They're eating them.
Yeah, they like that.
Maisie does the dance now. Do you know the dance?
No, but do it.
Well, it's okay. I do know it because she does it all the time with her dance friends. It's they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat dogs. Eat cats.
Yes. Oh, I do because I
Yeah,
shared. There was a
There's
hot guy
whole
on
fucking
TikTok.
dance,
that
and she
shared
does
it.
a spin, and then you kick to the left, and spin, and you kick to the right, and yeah.
You're such a dance.
Yeah. Oh, I love
What
it.
a
Well,
dance,
when she started
Dad.
dancing to that, I started laughing. I'm like, well, that's my fucking jam right there. Put that on. Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's take a break.
Yes,
Great.
sir. The name of the band. We're gonna bring back ska for a second. This is the Ratchets. This is Late Stage Capital. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN show at tomanddan.com for last minute emails or other things. Welcome back to a Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
On the couch with us, we love these guys so much, from the Bungalower and the Bus radio program, Mr. John Busdeker and Mr. Brendan O'Connor.
Hey.
I'll give you a blast.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thank
I'll
you.
do that.
Oh,
I like when you say the name of our show right. That's even better.
Well, I am a radio professional. I've been
And an
doing
English
this. Did you know
speaker.
this is my 29th year?
Wow.
Yeah, so next year, I'm going to I don't know if this is
You gonna make it?
next year will be my last year broadcasting.
All right.
I've just announced that now, and I'm hoping that Orlando will do a massive parade for me through the city.
Yeah. We'll bring back the kumquat parade.
I want the kumquat, and I'll dress as a kumquat.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I ate so many kumquats one time as a young boy in the back of back of my house that I threw up.
Marmalade?
Oh man, orange kumquats everywhere. I used to eat the shit out of those. I sit in the tree to eat them like a monkey.
Yes.
That's what's wrong with my hips because I used to perch up in the kumquat trees. I'm serious.
We didn't
I
just
say
fall
this
out
shit,
of a
and Tom will
kumquat
just start
tree.
laughing at me, and this is all true. In DeLand, I would perch up
I love it.
like a monkey in my kumquat tree, and I'd eat all the.
Would you rub them
and then I'd
on
be like,
your
oh,
shirt?
God, puking them all out. My dad's like, Dad Lee, what are you doing? I told you to stop eating my goddamn kumquat. Get in here.
Yeah, I like that.
So, Brendan, I
Really hit
saw that recently you were on the 50 most powerful people in Orlando list.
Who, me?
Wow.
What?
And then when I saw that, I was like,
Whoa.
well, how
suck-
powerful is he?
You suck enough dick.
So what are the qualifications or like the
Power.
The
I've never been on one of these lists. 29
power-
yeof
Me
talking
neither.
in this
Me
town.
neither.
I've never had it. I don't have any fucking power.
How do they quantify it?
I don't know how they call it.
It's like what
Reach, like how often people see your name doing
Alright,
stuff,
okay, right.
and
I know like Mayor Dyer's on that list, and
Yeah, some
Mayor
lobbyists,
Demings, and I know Sheriff Mina's on that list.
I know I've never had my kid throw their bong out of their car. I know that. That make you powerful? Does that make you powerful?
Well, politicians. Yeah.
my friend married married his son.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hannah's they got babies.
Did he dress as a bong?
Yeah.
I'm just pointing that out. I'm just going to point it out. Never let it go.
Yeah, I don't know. Big deal, amazing. I immediately put it on my LinkedIn, but I'm still fat and underpaid.
Hey, buddy, don't say that.
Untalented, and no friends.
That's not true. That's not true.
What kind of power can you wield here? Because what can you?
I can call people up.
can you
Call
get-
people up, make things happen.
Okay, what can we make happen? Because I was like,
You
I
want
know
some pigeons
Brendan.
on roofs? You want some inflatable pigeons on roofs? I got you.
I
gotcha.
kind of only want things that benefit me.
Yeah. It's like bad things.
I don't-
Like we want bad things.
Yeah,
Like, can you get a tank of nitrous?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
There we go.
yeah. Drugs.
We got one. We got
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Could you ruin people's reputation?
Yeah.
All right,
okay.
okay,
All right.
that's
Yeah.
something.
I like that.
Kinda
He's
did.
probably done that before.
We kind of did. We got in trouble. Right? Remember that
we
one
we
time?
can talk about that later.
Who'd you ruin?
No, I can't. 'Cause he got really mad.
Oh, no.
We made fun of someone's event. I made fun of someone's event in one of our episodes. And
Long time ago.
A long time ago. But they don't do the event anymore. It was
No.
a very popular Orlando series of events that is no longer around because there was some poison in the air after that.
After
Oh,
Brendan ruined it.
I did. And all I said was, well, stop.
All you were doing is speaking your truth.
I
From your,
was. And we
from
were
your
very
core.
drunk.
We've had a lot of people get hurt on this show because they share their true feelings about something, right, Tom? You share your true feelings, it gets out there.
Yeah.
And people aren't prepared for the
They're not
truth, and then they
prepared.
hear it.
They're not prepared.
And then it hurts their feelings.
Yeah.
And then you have to go. Did you have to go and try to fix the
I
problem?
kinda refused.
You fixed it?
John did. No, John fixed his relationship with that person.
Not really.
The problem was not fixed, and I refused to apologize, but we invited him on the show to try to. I was like, well, if you are mad, come on and talk about it. You know, let's
Oh
do
my
that.
God, that's the Howard Stern way.
That's how you get the good
You're-
content.
Dude, you
That
got
was your
fucking
suggestion.
Brendan's
Yeah.
Brendan, you know why Brendan's on that list? Because you got fat fucking nuts. That's why he's on that list. Like, seriously, dude. Like, that's fat nuts to be like, oh, if you're mad about it, would you come
It was
come into
John's
our
suggestion.
fucking cathedral and let me slap you
and
around a
he
little bit?
wouldn't even look at me, that guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he still hates me.
Those fake titties that Brenda has, that's Brenda.
are my
Brenda.
nuts.
Yeah, those are your titty nuts.
My big old titty
Yeah,
nuts.
get on my titty nuts.
I had a 7-Eleven guy yell at me last night because he said my tits didn't look real. I
Your
was
titties
like,
don't look real, motherfucker.
I was like, those are some bad titties. They don't look real at all.
Yeah, you got some whopper-jawed ass, loose ass titties.
I was like, I got a beard. Like, what? I'm not trying to convince you of nothing. What do you
God
want?
damn, this bitch got some whopper-jawed ass sag ass titties. You sag ass titty motherfucker.
It's like you were there.
Was this before or after your event?
After.
So you could have taken them out going into 7-Eleven.
Well, I was drunk and getting snacks.
Enjoy some bit of titties.
You think I should have taken them out?
I mean, you're done
then
with
I'm
your
just a
event.
guy in a jumpsuit.
Do you know of the Brenda? Let's speak to can I speak to Brenda, please? Do you know of the trend of women that are buying the really pronounced
bitties.
and but like on Instagram, if you go, it's an epidemic on Instagram. You go on there. Jake Paul is doing it with the rubber belly he has now that he's wearing in all of the fight promos. No, this is a big thing for influencers, and I thought maybe you might have done it because like in the drag world, do they use the
bibs?
They're like bibs, right?
Yeah, silicone bibs.
Yeah, and ladies
it'll
are doing
Velcro
these
around your neck.
So moms are doing these low key moms. Like Andrea could do this right now. So like there are plenty of normal ladies doing this, and I'm all for it. So let's say like Crystal or Andrea, they buy one of these bibs and they put it over their real titties.
Okay.
So they've got these big, and they look like milk engorged, like
gigantic.
They're gigantic, but they look real as
like
fuck.
can crushers.
Like and then you put a loose T-shirt over it so your nipples point.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of bounce on the Instagram. Like if you go and look it up, if you just look at bouncing boobs. Or
Tom's like, I'll go check it out.
First of all, it's not an epidemic; it's your algorithm.
But all of these ladies are making money. Like
Yeah.
they do OnlyFans. Is my point? Is like this is a legitimate job where you put on fake latex titties and you bounce the titties. So you're not even showing your own nudity. It's not even nudity.
It's the social and selling too. Like they'll be selling, like they'll go Facebook Live or TikTok Live, and then they're bouncing, and they're like, "What do you want?" Like you guys did a thing on those cosplayers who like pretend they're robots or something. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, except it's just someone with big fake titties.
But it's not nudity.
It's
My point is that
prosthetic.
like your wife could do it, my wife could do it, anybody could do it.
I want to do
They're
one with
not
Brenda
real.
where she sits on cake.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah,
that is
I wanna do
100% a thing. You'd make money. You would make money doing it.
Make some money.
Do people think they're real?
No.
So they know they're prosthetic. So
okay.
I'm sure when you're scrolling,
I think
at first you might.
I think at first, because at first I thought they were real because they do look.
Is that what
real.
drew you in?
I do think that's the gateway. That's how they get you in. I think that they
Yeah.
get you in because it does move like a pendulous breast.
Yeah.
You know.
Because they shake.
Yeah, they move around.
So
and
it's
stuff.
just to catch your eye.
And then you're
for
like,
a second.
maybe I'll watch this.
Yeah.
video.
It's like when they do like on TikTok, it'll be like they'll take someone's clip of someone
if I can
talking, and
find
then
something.
next to it they'll have like someone stirring stew.
Yeah, or
You know?
I get the car jumping off with some weird ramps video game.
Yeah. So like it's those two things. Like that's like you're listening to the audio from the one, but you're transfixed by the weird garbage clip.
Yeah. When I see people do that, I realize why they're doing it because they're like, this is just to draw people in, so they listen to it. But
Here.
Do you get mad?
yeah, okay,
Here.
because I'm like, this is stupid.
Wait a minute.
Tickle bitties.
See how they
Well,
do
they're not
that?
that big.
These are real, but so this one's real, but that she's doing the same thing.
Stop.
So they take.
Wait a minute. This isn't anything like what you were trying to do.
Well, I'm
This is
trying to
just some
find
girl-
it. I'm trying
You
to find it. I
just
can't
found
find
some
it right
girl
now.
who put her
I'm
tits
trying to
together.
find it. I can't find it right now. But it's a thing where they're
Worst
not even
example.
real titties.
Yeah, that bizarre. That is.
I think that's from Jimbo. You know Jimbo the drag queen?
Jimbo the drag queen.
Yeah, he was Canadian. He won one of them. I can't remember.
No,
There's
I
a million
don't.
drag race things. Jimbo's from Canada, and he has set the tone now for tig old bitties. Everybody, like, he would wear the biggest prosthetic boobs, and at one time he had a huge set on the front, and then he put another set on his butt. So yeah, and he danced by making them both. and he won.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and now a lot of people are wearing bigger breasts.
It's a more is more scenario.
Yeah, especially with drag queens.
Like, how big can you go though? Like at
They
some
can
point,
get
they're
really
just gonna
big.
like touch the floor, right?
Yeah,
That could be funny.
that could be funny. It could rip too. Like if your
Oh.
bib's not like, because
Yeah.
after a while the
And
bib
I think
is
they're heavy.
oh, they're so heavy.
Like the ones that like
Yeah.
that's the thing that I think I'm sort of fascinated in is that like it's not even like the sexual part
They're
of it.
expensive,
it's like,
too.
Yeah, like how do you afford it?
Yeah.
How long? How do you? I think you have to powder them afterwards. Like when you put them, you have to
Yeah.
take care of them.
I didn't know. I have a set, not the really big ones,
Yeah.
but because I thought that's what I was supposed to get. to do drag. I really just use Nerf balls now because I think it's funnier.
Yeah.
And
Amazing how
and
that works out there. You probably spent a lot of money on these.
Yeah, and I did. I got a set of tits, and I was like, and at first I was like, oh, I feel weird just having
How much
these in
did
the
those
house
cost?
because it feels perverse. But that set was probably $300.
Oh.
Yeah, they're expensive as hell, and that's why some of these creators,
One
you see
gig,
them invest and get them, and then like they'd have to be making money because some of these suits I've seen, I looked them up one time, and I got on I got into like the world, and I started looking at it and pricing it.
Yeah, you did.
And some of these things are like $2,000, $3,000. No, I'm not gonna get a set. But I was amazed at like, can you imagine stroking a check for $3,000 to China for a set of?
You're gonna make it back though. They're all making it back. Drag queens are gonna make it back.
Just get some Nerf balls, apparently.
Yeah,
but what
Nerf balls.
What do the people like about it?
The
that are
movement.
watching.
I think I can answer
this.
this. There's a certain level of exaggeration. There's probably a Japanese term for it. But when you watch hentai or any of that stuff, I'm bastardizing.
Are you asking what people like about boobs?
Yeah, but no, like some of the anime. No, but some of the anime, it's very exaggerated, and they're giving you the real version of the exaggration, right?
Okay.
So the drawing, when you're looking at some of these Asian girls that we know will never have a chest that's like a triple F, 38 triple F, and then these people are like literally buying the bib that looks like those anime characters, and it comes to life. I think that's what they like it.
So it's like a cosplay type of situation.
But you also have to get custom clothes to fit it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like there's like a level. Like at least a drag. Like if you're gonna rock those titties, like you have to have clothes that fit it. That's not an off the rack situation.
Yeah. It's all it's a costume.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
100%.
So if they got those tits and they look good, it's because they got money.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys want to blow through some of these emails and voicemails?
Yeah,
we got tons of stuff. Let's roll through these. All right, this one is from Josh. He says, long-time listener here. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Josh.
Just finished watching the live stream with Ben Franklin. Make sure you go back and find that. We did have a special guest, Ben Franklin, stop by. He wants to know, I've seen episodes on YouTube like Feed, Drink the Skin, Snap Into It, Dark Ages. Are any of these episodes able to be viewed on the actual podcast, or are these just YouTube videos? Those are just YouTube videos. I apologize.
What are you talking about?
It daily, when we do the show daily, it's streamed on YouTube and it's streamed on Twitch, and you can jump into the chat room and you can watch everything there. And when we're done, all of those like daily recordings go up on YouTube and Twitch, but they're not released for podcast. So, I mean, they will eventually be released for ACT. They will eventually be released for this show, but the way that we record is not going to stay in that perfect alignment.
Yeah, but the shows that we do on YouTube are our podcasts.
Correct.
But there's a lot of content that's just YouTube and Twitch because, you'll know when we start the show. We start it and end it, but then there's, we leave it recording.
Yeah, and you can go in there and you can see like all the behind the scenes stuff. Let's jump into this one right here. Who the hell has a night wedding? I've never ever heard of a wedding at night. And I am the special person that has to go to a night wedding instead of stuffing my face at the Hollabox BDM feast. Fuck my luck. All right, it ain't the end of the world, and I'll still eat free, but still, hope you all have a blast, and I'll see you at the couch races. Kurt.
Well, wait. What time are they getting married?
I've never been to a night wedding. I've never even heard of a night wedding.
Well, the reception is at night usually, but I guess you're right. The actual wedding, the ceremony is usually during the day.
Maybe they didn't get invited to the wedding. They just got invited to the reception.
Well, then that's not a wedding.
I know he's confused.
Yeah, but maybe he's dumb.
He just got
saying,
That's probably
maybe
what it is.
it's cheaper to do it at night, too.
It is. It's got to be cheaper.
What?
Because like the venues may be booked during the day, but
it's like weekday weddings.
Night.
You've heard of weekday weddings, right? Like I've known people that get married on like a Thursday.
I got married on a Sunday because it was cheaper.
Yeah, I know people that have gotten married like during the week. Now, I also think that's super weird because that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But just because like
you want to be under the light of God.
Well, I wouldn't feel comfortable asking everybody to come to my wedding on a Tuesday. That's just me projecting how I feel.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a school night?
No, I'd rather do it on a weekend when normal people do their wedding.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, all your guests.
That's just me, you know?
Okay.
All your guests, they're open up the invite. They're Tuesday, and they're like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, again, why would I
Not
even want to
doing
throw
well.
my hard-earned money at something that half the people are not going to want to go to on a Tuesday?
Someone in the chat said they could be goth, which that makes sense. Maybe they're getting
Okay.
married at that mannequin's place.
Like
to
a
see it.
cemetery.
But I really hate those. If you wear a steampunk wedding, I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it.
I've never been to a themed wedding.
I want you happy. I really want you happy. Look, it's not my wedding, so fuck me. I'll say that up
Went to a
front.
tiki wedding.
But
once.
if you dress in a kilt with a steampunk hat and you're like, and then you have like R2D2 coming, like it's fucking
my
stupid.
favorite wedding
take
I
it
went
seriously.
to, everybody had a duty. At the one wedding. And my job was to shuck the corn.
I'm not
Chuck
going
the
there
corn.
to
Everybody
work.
will
I'm
boil
not
it.
going there to
Yeah,
work.
Was it a pilgrim wedding?
Because we all, as
No.
a community
No,
of
no.
family
You
and
give
friends,
me a boiled
came
chicken,
together.
free boiled chicken. I'll eat it. It sucks.
No.
You get married.
It was so good.
I'll
They
go
made
hug
you
your wife.
work the wedding?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, there's a Huckleberry Finn. Was Jim there?
Yeah, Jim.
Did they say it?
They put Jim in the back.
All right. So,
He doesn't hang out with me. If I,
What was Jim's job?
yeah, so
Yo, titty's too big.
Yo, JD's too big.
All right.
all right.
You want to do
I
another?
gotta
was
shuck
doing
that
all.
corn.
Let's go. You know what? Let's do mail on mail. Like, impromptu mail on mail. I'll jump
Man
over here.
on mail.
Do some voicemails too. Yes, Tom.
I do feel like nowadays that people are having smaller and smaller weddings, right?
Yeah.
Cheaper.
They're not
Yeah.
spending a shit ton of money and
Which is
having the
smart.
traditional, giant extravaganza that you spend,
Awful.
$30,000 on, and
And everybody there hates you.
it does. I wonder if
I moved away. That's why we had a smaller wedding too. Like all my family had to come down here to go to our
Sure.
wedding. So if I'd have been married back in Michigan, it might have been a bigger wedding.
Nobody's gonna travel to Michigan though. Like if they
Yeah.
are you gonna
That's
have
not a
everybody come to
destination
Florida?
wedding.
I'm just saying,
for
if
a
I grew up
wedding, or-
there and I lived there my whole life, I would have had more people that I probably would
Your
have
people.
invited because they would have been coming from like the town over, whereas they would have had
Yeah.
to come to Florida for my wedding.
you should do two.
Yeah.
everybody I've ever talked to, first never regrets having a small cheap wedding, right?
Nope.
And then on the other side, they may not regret having an expensive wedding, but a lot of them, including myself, would rather, in retrospect, have had the money spent on the
Agreed.
wedding at that time in my life. And looking back at the expensive party that we threw, we like me and Crystal were like, we would have rather had the money because now that we had the other thing, we're like, not that worth it. Like to have some super extravagant wedding, like. No one goes back and looks at it. And
But
like,
if
oh,
you're
glad-
rich, they don't give a shit.
well,
Right,
if you have
right.
unlimited money, yeah. But,
Yeah, mine wasn't like super extravagant. I guess I'm sort of in the middle. I enjoyed the day. Thought it was good. I don't regret it, but
Where did you get married?
if
at
you'd have just done,
Lake Lucerne.
Oh,
It was
Oh,
nice.
he had a nice- yeah,
It was
yeah.
nice.
but if you would have just had a smaller wedding, you would have probably your happiness level would have been equal to.
I mean, it could have. I'll never
Yeah.
know. I mean,
No,
like
I know,
I
I know.
enjoyed though that wedding though. I mean, I will say with the catering, I probably wouldn't have done. I would have done it quicker. That's the one thing that I don't understand is the feeding people. I would have pulled back on that.
we did food stations.
I
at my
didn't get any
brother's.
food because I was like all doing stuff, and then like I wouldn't do food. I wouldn't do cake. Maybe do that privately.
Wait, you wouldn't feed anybody there?
No, I would just
No?
have you come for the ceremony and then open bar. and then we just have a
Get
couple
the hell
drinks.
out of here.
Yeah, do it
well, that's a
quick.
small wedding.
Yeah, I would. But I love
Yeah.
the venue.
In
I
a
thought
drum
that was
circle.
cool. Like I do it like in an hour, right? Like we show up.
Yeah.
And I did insist that my ceremony was like super quick. I like a hyper quick ceremony, and then let's dance and have a couple drinks and get the hell out of here. You know
sounds
what I
good.
mean? But yeah, the food thing. Maybe that's the thing that I hate. That was the most expensive part. Was the food.
Yeah, it is bizarre what kind of cultural thing we've built here with weddings and what
It's
they,
more of a thing here in the States.
Yeah,
I can see the difference. When I go, like in Canada, nobody's even wearing suits to weddings. Not really, like in the North anyway. I'm sure in Toronto they do, but
Right. Well, that's
It's,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
big city. Sure.
Less fancy, more
you
of
want to
just
wear like
a-
your nice sweater.
Yeah.
Let's try this voicemail right here just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. We've had multiple listeners call in on remedies for warts, like hand warts,
And we had one gentleman call in and say that you should get in a jacuzzi and then use fingernail clippers after soaking in the jacuzzi. And then we have somebody else.
And then use fingernail clippers?
Yeah, and then
To
you
cut it out?
And you clip your
Yeah,
warts
and you-
in the public hot
You
tub.
clip them in here.
Hey, Tom and Dan, it is Mike up in St. Augustine. With Tom, with your boys in the warts, the death metal furniture dude was correct. I never soaked in a hot tub. I just went straight for it. Toenail clippers, dig, clip, dig and clip. It's going to bleed like you wouldn't believe. It won't stop bleeding, but eventually will, obviously.
Wait, are we
Toenail
talking,
clippers.
are we
get
talking
her done.
skin tags or warts?
Warts.
I can talk about this with
Like seed warts.
Florida
Yeah.
kids, I don't know
Yeah,
if
you
know
get
this,
seed warts. I got them
Brendan.
on my hands.
Yeah, you get warts. I had them when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
I
My
had
sons
'em.
have them now.
I had
don't
one
know
right
why.
here on the.
Oh, I had one on my finger too.
Yeah, I had one on the bumper where I would write with a pencil and it hurt so bad. And I did, after talking, like really thinking about this, listen to these guys, I did fingernail clippers on the seed wart. I did not do alcohol, and it did bleed crazy. But seed warts were those ones when you clip it down, you could see like little tiny holes in your skin.
What?
So I had to go to like the dermatologist and get like the laser. well, first
fancy.
the freeze
rich guy over
thing.
here. We got a rich guy, everybody.
Freeze thing didn't work, so then they had to do like the laser thing,
I didn't know.
which hurts like hell, especially on your hands. It hurts
You
like
call
hell.
them seed warts?
Yeah,
and
they were
then,
seed
and then
warts.
that would not work. And so eventually I was like, well, I'll just look at like old wives' tales.
Potato.
And I found one where
Put a potato,
No,
duct tape a potato
I
to it.
soaked it
Oh my
in
God.
apple cider vinegar, and
Oh, it's
that one
planer
did
worse.
work.
Planer worse.
So you put a cotton ball, apple cider vinegar, and
Yeah.
then duct tape, and I kept it there for like 2 weeks, and it was gone.
My mom, it's planer warts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
My mom had one on her foot, and she had to get blister beetle slurry put on it.
That's a
And it
Canadian
makes
bullshit.
like a
You're
witch
bringing
thing.
up this
Like a
Canadian
witch
magic.
thing.
Yeah. That is
they
some
grind
Canadian
it
The
up.
bullshit.
Baba La Baba.
That's the Babadook.
My
she-
God, we got a gay Babadook.
Hey, Babadook is a gay icon.
Is he?
Yeah, he was in the.
He was gay?
I
didn't know Babadook was gay.
We've
I
adopted
knew.
him. He's been in gay pride parades in
Oh, he's gay
Australia.
then. Yeah, 100% he's gay.
Should go as like a drag, like
Or
the,
he could be
like
an
the
ally.
Boobadook,
He could
like a
be
big boobs.
The Boobadook. It's the funniest thing you've ever said. That's a great idea.
I want to do a video where I'm under someone's bed and my titties are up here and I'm like, heavy breathing. What's happening? I'm the Boobadook.
So wait, go back to the beetle slurry? What?
Yeah, it makes you. So there's a beetle. If you touch it, it has a chemical that makes you blister up. And apparently, if you apply that to planter stuff, it helps it come out, like
There you
without
go.
having to dig.
Yeah, the whole chat room's like just roasting me. They're like, Daniel, you fucking idiot. The Babadook's always been bisexual, you fucking idiot. I'm like, what?
It's in the name.
Yeah, everybody's like, he's a pansexual, you fucking idiot. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, bi and pan aren't the same. I didn't
No,
know.
they're not.
Yeah,
I
they're
think that
not.
was
So
in
you
the
guys are a
movie.
lot of misinformation.
He likes the Baba. He likes the Duke.
When you put it that way, maybe you're
you're
when
like,
you put it that way, I'm on the spectrum of the Babadook. Because I like the Baba and the Duke.
Baba and the Dookie.
Sometimes I like the Baba a lot more, though. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. This was another. I'm going through all the voicemails that were hot topics. I'm just going to pivot from emails because
right.
we had some good ones that came through. Let's do this one right here.
Hey, Tom and Dan. I'm just listening to
Looks so sad.
the most recent BDM show. It's like Stinky Fingers or something, of course.
Good
Probably
guess.
the title.
Good
And
guess.
Tom's talking about how the blowjob should be equal to the, or rather the reward should be equal to the task, and thus he wants his wife to put a little bit of effort into the blowjob.
Okay, let me preface this. So,
Busdeker knows. So
Tom did hurricane cleanup. I think I can do this quickly. Tom did hurricane cleanup. He did like over 25 different bags of leaves. He's out there
Wow.
busting his ass, just out there, in his tiny Duke, shirtless, just really working up a froth.
Wow.
And he got it all done. And then all he asks is that when he comes in, takes a shower, and then he goes to get a hero's blowjob, he wants a blowjob like he sees in the quote movie.
no, not even that. I just want
Right? I think I did a good job.
He
with
wants
that.
one of those naughty MILF ones.
just where it's
Damn.
equal to the amount of
That
the
is what he wants.
reward.
Yeah. You
Should-
want 25 bags worth of sucking. That's the name of the show.
Yeah, it's got to, and there, you can't just
I
do
think
a
that's fair.
half-assed, Oh,
If that's the reward,
Yeah.
if that's the
Brendan-
agreed
Brendan is-
upon
everything
reward.
Brendan says on the show, people cheer for.
Yeah, that's a good point.
25. You need to get your dick sucked like 25 bags of trash.
If that was agreed
Yeah,
upon,
Brendan
at the
makes a good
beginning.
point. Was that agreed upon pre?
Or
Pre the
did
25
you
bags.
show up after all gross and you're like, I just did all this work, now suck my dick.
Look at the look at his eyes.
That's
He
what
didn't get
happened.
nothing in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, and no one does, but and a lot of times.
Don't Trump gaslight
Okay,
me.
we have a hot take. We have a hot take from the chat room.
What?
Hot take from the chat room is that's gross as fuck. I can't stand it when they're playing with their saliva like they're porno Spider Woman.
Ew, what?
I think you're one of one. Like if my wife just started spitting on me, I might just start coming because I never get that. I'm just saying, like let me
You
preface,
never get to
'cause
spit.
No, I don't get like like Tom's saying, I never get the.
Why
like,
don't you just get it outsourced? Maybe that's the reward. It's like
well, that's cheating.
Well, of course I want that.
I don't.
Now,
I'm sure she doesn't want to. It sounds like she doesn't want to suck your dick. So maybe there's a way that, like, after you do all that hard work, she can be like, "All right, go use your get out of jail
What if
free
the
card."
Babadook's in there? What if you
That's
go
the
in there and
brain
it's not
of-
Crystal, it's Brendan dressed as a Babadook?
The Boobadook shows up.
I heard somebody needs a dick suck.
you're
Fuck my big old titties.
you are.
I want my 25 bags worth.
That's the brain of a logical gay man. if you don't want to do it, I'll just get it somewhere else.
Outsource
and then the other person should be like, "Great, I don't want to do it anyway."
Yeah.
So it's like you're
Yeah,
hiring
because they're
someone.
busy making tacos or something.
Jordan
It's
continues
like
a little
hiring
bit
someone to
here.
mow your lawn. You know what I'm saying? Should be no different.
Jordan continues here.
And he's like, I want it like the porns, and you're like, that's not real. That's messing
porns.
everybody up.
Porns? Wait, pause
I
it.
am-
Pause it. Did he say the porns?
Yeah, he said the porns. Yeah, like in the porns.
Yeah, you've seen the movies.
I've never heard it pluralized like
They're
that.
porns.
Children of the porns.
Like in the funny pages.
Look at the funny pages.
I'll see you in the funny pages.
I see in the porns.
They are putting on a performance. They're
are. They're
giving
acting.
max effort.
They're acts to. That was Max Hardcore. He got arrested. Okay, he continues.
I am in a same-sex relationship,
Oh, faggot.
and I'm
Can't say
bisexual.
that. Why would you say that, Brendan?
For a split second, I
'Cause
thought
I
that was
can.
Busdeker, and I fell out of my chair. for this much, because I listen to Bungalow in the Bus a lot, and I thought it was Busdeker.
I was about to say it.
I
I was like,
thought
oh,
it
this
was
is
Busdeker.
recorded.
My eyes started sweating.
John's allowed to say it. He's been
That's
around
not
it
a thing.
enough.
That's
He's been around it enough.
That is it.
Yeah. Giving Pat, I was trying to explain it
Yeah,
to my
you
son.
can't give
I'm like,
people the F card.
Oh yeah.
like you can't give out that pass. Like other people don't accept the pass.
No.
So it's like
I
handing
can say it.
I can say
Okay, he
it.
continues.
No.
And I'm bisexual. I've been with men and women. And
Now you're bragging.
everybody who has ever sucked my dick, this is definitely going to have to be a BDM voicemail,
Okay.
has done so with great enthusiasm and clearly wants me to
Hurry up.
fuck their day up. So I think it's just a matter of
Call me.
finding somebody who
Call me.
wants to blow you.
Okay, well now we're just talking to some single dude. Yeah, when you pick up a dude or a girl at the bar and you take them home, they'll suck your dick real good. After 20 years of marriage, I'm here to tell you that it gets less.
I love how he's like, I've never had a lazy blowjob. I don't know what that's about.
Sometimes my wife's on her iPad.
The porns.
She has to hold it way high.
I call in after tell me the old man that's been married to their old lady for 25 years, and then tell me that she still does it good.
So wait, I got a question here, Tom. So like the whole time that you're raking leaves, you're like, this is gonna be so good.
I tricked myself. That's my only motivation, boss.
Like when I get inside,
I'm like,
it's
this
gonna be-
time she'll see the effort and she'll match it.
And then you're like, 23 bags? No. I'll do 2 more. I'll do 2 more.
Because
That
it
way
makes
she'll
sense.
spit on it.
Like, guess what, Crystal.
Yeah. And she's just sitting in there looking out the window like, oh, God. Oh, God, that's a 25 bagger.
You better go get some. Gotta go get some.
Lord, I'm exhausted.
Go get some sucking candies. I just did 25 bags.
Then I'm like, what is this? It's like I never even went outside.
It wasn't even her. It was the sex doll that she just brought over.
I'm joking. Never even got nothing.
Okay. Let's go with this one. This is from Sarah G. She says, Tom and Dan, with all of the devastating weather in recent weeks, my anxiety brain got the best of me, and I started morbidly wondering something. Have you guys and the wives ever discussed what your families would do if something awful happened to Florida? Say a megastorm made the entire state uninhabitable and beyond saving. Everyone has to abandon ship and start somewhere else. Do you guys have a place in mind you'd relocate to? Where would your family stick, or would your family stick together to rebuild the T&D empire? I'd love to hear this discussion as a topic. BDM for life, Sarah G. Thank you, Sarah.
Great
Appreciate
question.
the email. It is a good question. I've never thought about this, and I was listening to Sam's stream, and I guess her and her husband were kicking around the idea of maybe moving someplace else, and like I can honestly tell you that I do not think about that. I enjoy Orlando, and it's not something I'm not at all opposed. I don't give it
Every time I think
thought.
about moving, I'm like, God, but what would I do?
Well, that's the thing.
Right.
Do anything in another city.
You're proposing a scenario that is extremely unlikely to happen. No megastorm that we could ever even think of would destroy all of Florida.
Now,
that's not the question. We're going
knock
with the
on
question.
wood right now.
Yeah.
No, but it's just,
we're just going with her question.
It's supernatural at this point. Like you could say the same thing about zombie. No, there's no such thing as a Florida ruining megastorm. I mean,
what do you mean?
Hurricanes can get to Category 6.
He doesn't believe in anything.
Category 5 is the cap, but
no.
And it'll ruin local areas that it hit, but it wouldn't destroy all of Florida and everybody.
We are now seeing storms that are covering the entire state, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't destroy.
The core is not yet, but now we're also seeing for the first time storms where they want to extend it into another category, Category 6, right?
Yeah.
That had never happened before. This last Milton was they were watching Milton come in, and there was a hot minute when Milton was coming in where they were like, this could be a new category because it's so big. So like we are seeing increasing intensity of storms. So I guess Sarah's not wrong. Like, it's not impossible that it could happen. It's unlikely.
Well, like, for instance, like Andrea's dad's house. I mean, you could make an argument that he can't really live there because if any storm comes through, the surge is going to flood his house every single time.
Well, you know what's interesting is they were showing like footage of where like Minnesota Key or like south of Tampa where Milton came ashore. And they were showing like the beach houses, and they were like devastated beach house, and then beach house on stilts with concrete stilts. Devastated beach house, then new one on concrete stilts that they'd built the last years
the new
ago.
hurricane code.
When what was that name of the other storm that came through that exact area a couple of years ago? I forgot the names. But anyway,
I know the one you're talking about. A couple years ago,
and you could tell these are the houses they rebuilt after. So then I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, that makes me believe that all these houses are all going to be on stilts and all just going to be prepared for extreme storm surge.
At some point, you got to be able to afford that though, too, because you're not going to get insurance if you just build even a regular house, but
insurance
if you
isn't even covering some of these
they
people
still
now.
need to insure those.
Oh, the people that own the houses not on stilts now are fucked.
Yeah.
If they, because they will eventually get, but someone from up north that wants to live on the beach and then they'll build their mega mansion on the beach on stilts that will survive storm surge, and then all the year round they get to live on the beach. Because,
I think there's a point though where people will just say you're not allowed to build on the beach anymore, right? Like, there's going to be a point.
Governor keep rich people away from that, though.
DeSantis just said, well, people are asking what the governor, if there would be restrictions, maybe
he's
in
not
the future.
Restrict
And he said, no, I'm not restricting that.
Well, he's not that guy, right?
Yeah. But eventually, we'll get somebody in there who's like, yeah, you just probably shouldn't build on the beach.
Well, if you have a
Imagine.
concrete stilt house that is prepared for storm surge, you can live on the beach.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, until
but that's like that.
but
I would
you're-
imagine that a concrete stilt house like that, the ability to do that is
Yeah.
going to be so few and far
Infrastructure.
between. Like it's not going to be the norm. It's
I'm
gonna
going to
be like,
Apalachicola on Sunday.
I don't
They
think
get
they're
hit.
going to. My point is, there's not going to be a majority of stilt houses. That's
But
just
wait,
not going to happen.
but her
I think
question was,
anybody who lives there will have
yeah, but
to
it
have a
won't.
stilt house.
They might, but it's going to be like how many houses?
but her question was, where would you move?
It's not going to be hundreds of thousands of houses.
Well,
She wants to know.
Yeah.
only on the beach, like
Right.
because that's where it gets the most devastated. It's all about the storm surge, like inland, like here. That's why they built Kennedy Space Center where they built it. It's just because of, and I guess things change as far as the weather systems and stuff, but the likelihood of a storm coming through that area is unlikely.
Yeah,
So,
and my wife brings up a good point too in the chat room. She said you might survive the storm surge on stilts, but what about the wind?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. We don't know. I mean, so.
well, these houses took direct hits, and they
No,
were
I
totally
understand.
fine.
I just don't think. I don't think. I lived in a stilt house on St. Augustine, and it's still there, and it was nice, but it's moved all the time. It was not fun. It's not fun living in a Jim Walter home. It's not ideal.
Well, it's old school. I think
Yeah.
that you could build them now. Well, they'll survive hurricanes, no
So,
problem.
okay, so suspend disbelief.
Georgia.
Where would you go?
You
Georgia?
go one state up.
Yeah, I mean, look, seriously, because I really do love Georgia and I love Florida. So if I
Yeah.
can get a little bit of Florida and get some mountain life
That
with
makes
it,
sense.
I mean, I do enjoy Georgia.
Not
And
Floribama?
I've never been to Alabama. Never been
I
there.
used to live there. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to any place.
Well, there's nice parts of every place.
Yeah.
But in general,
You don't have a place? You don't
Would
have
you
a place
just
you're
move to
thinking of?
Georgia? Would you just move to Georgia so you could keep the show going?
No.
He doesn't like hypotheticals.
I hate Georgia.
You do?
Yeah, fuck Georgia. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't move. I'll stay here in Florida. Listen, the Van family, they ride towards hurricanes. They don't run from them. So I'll stay here.
I was just in Atlanta for Atlanta Magazine, and the fashion level in Atlanta is just, especially with
They
black
got the
people,
school there,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
They got the Savannah, whatever the.
Oh no, he was in Atlanta.
No, I know, but
Oh.
the College of Design there.
Oh,
or whatever.
SCAD,
yeah.
Which I wanted to go there.
That's a big deal, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had some friends that went there. Let's try this one right here before we take a break. This is from Captain Dano. Hey, Dan, I heard you guys and Ross talking about Florida aquifer, and Ross mentioned saltwater intrusion from over pumping, and we have had it here already.
That's a problem.
I'm doing the plumbing at a new house in Samsula near.
Does
where
it just happen in Cape Canaveral? Cape Canaveral Seashore. It's not just a problem for
Yeah, really.
saltwater.
I'm doing the plumbing at a new house in Samsula near where State Road 44 and the Pioneer Trail intersect.
Oh.
The well guy tested the water last week, and it has salinity in it. I can't remember the ppm, but he said there could be a taste of salt out of the tap. He also said there's this new issue in the past few years. The reason for this is because Volusia County has wells all along 44 and State Road 415 pumping 400 gallons per minute 24/7.
Oh.
So Volusia County is sucking the aquifer low enough to get saltwater intrusion.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the flooding in Volusia County is from overdevelopment. Hope all is well. Sorry to be a downer, but thought you'd find this interesting. Captain Dano. Yeah, so it seems like
Because the flooding, because it's all of the impervious surfaces don't allow the water to sit
right.
and recharge the aquifer, right? Is that what you guys were talking about?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why you have like people that are they'll have like lakes that are higher than they've ever been because the displaced water can't get back to where it was originally from. It'll just overflow into other people's retention ponds, and then it'll flood their land.
And lakes aren't generally a place that recharge the aquifer.
No.
Like because it's the sediment will keep. That's all there to keep the
Right,
water
that's
up.
there.
You know? Yeah. Sand, hill, like dunes and. Is this boring for people?
No.
I mean, we just did a whole second on getting your dick sucked. I think we're okay. I think we're fine.
Let's talk about recharging aquifer.
Yeah, it's fine. We do every topic.
The most easiest places to develop, sand hill areas, that's what you need to recharge the aquifer. That's where all the water goes back. But that's all. It just gets paved over.
Yeah.
So it has nowhere to go.
Yeah. So I think it's funny that people are so shocked every time they're like, "Well, hold on, all this development and humans are ruining their
Yeah.
it's displacing the water, or then where it goes naturally, and like, that happens. That's
a thing.
We're doing that. We can stop. I don't know how. I prefer just to not look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Just put your phone down.
The city's spending millions of dollars on floodwater mitigation plans. That's why all these streets are closed.
Yeah, they're trying to work it out
Yeah.
and figure it out. Let's go back to voicemails. We'll do this one. Take a little break.
Hey, Tom and Dan. You guys were having a little knife fun with Ross on the Friday Free Show. It was awesome. And he had a paperweight with him, and it reminded me of my paperweight incident. So...
not a paperweight.
Nobody needs a paperweight,
No,
right?
they're brass knuckles. I don't know why this guy's calling them. You could say the word brass knuckles. It's not like you're not allowed to say brass knuckles.
No, like sometime in the last 15 to 20 years ago... It was a different world, and a friend of mine knew a guy who was a shady businessman of many things. And
What's this guy?
we ended up at his apartment one day, and my buddy's like, "Hey, in this briefcase, it's unlocked, and there's his GHB. I'm gonna steal some." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm not part of this." Never tried it. Not interested in it.
You stole G from someone?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this guy calls in all the time, and he has crazy stories, so we'll see where it goes.
That's pepperoni guy. But
pepperoni.
As we were getting ready to leave, the businessman decided he thought that we might have stolen something from him.
Yeah.
And he pulled his paperweight out, and he requested that I remove most of my clothing to prove to this man I had not taken anything of his, which I gladly did because I did not want to get to know a paperweight. And
that's a gun.
It was also a little awkward because...
No, it's
brass knuckles.
We were talking about brass knuckles, which if you're going to tell a story on the show, tell it with the real item you're using because you're just going to fucking confuse everybody.
At this businessman's place, there was a coworker of mine who was there. And she saw the incident, and then the next day or two at work, it was a very awkward, "Hello, good to see you again," after, I got shook down with a paperweight. But happy ending to the...
What, did he get nude in front of the lady? This is a
Sounds
crazy
like it.
story. So
Sounds like it.
so your friend stole GHB out of another business associate's briefcase. Then the business associate says, "Hey, did you steal my fucking GHB? You fucking nerd!" To you, get naked, and you get naked because you're a pussy. And then because the guy's holding brass knuckles in his hand, he's gonna beat you up.
Did he pull that out of his business briefcase?
Okay, this
What
may
was
be
this guy's name?
This is a bold move for Daniel, and I'm all of 5'2", right? And I'm 162 pounds.
Uh-huh.
If you pull out brass knuckles and I haven't stolen and I can get to the door, I'm walking out. I'm not gonna let you better have a gun or a knife. If you just have a brass knuckles, I don't care.
True.
I'm gonna take my chances. I'm seriously, and I'm not a tough guy. I'm not saying I'm a
yeah.
tough guy. I'm just saying I'm not gonna let you go and you're gonna have to take off all your clothes, Dan. I'm gonna go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that.
What
I'm
was
not
his name?
going to do. You know me. You know me really well. I will not.
That's the same as your fist, basically.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking do
I'll
it.
fight you with that.
I won't do it. I
Yeah.
will not get naked for brass knuckles.
What was
Gun,
his name?
I'll get naked.
What was his name?
What?
What was his name?
I don't remember. I don't think he gave his name.
He sounded familiar, actually.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back.
That was
We'll
a
finish up
crazy
the
story.
show.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do it.
I've got 3 things I'll throw at you guys real quick.
All right, we got a couple of little things at the end here. I played these guys a lot. They're so good. Brand new album from Fantogram coming out. The name of the song is Come Alive. We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN show at tomanddan.com for emails. We'll be right back. Enjoy Fantogram. All right. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. Oh, thank you. Thank you. No need. No need. No need. This old thing, I dusted off my saxophone for you guys tonight. Welcome back to the show. We have John Busdeker. We have Brendan O'Connor. We have a listener sitting in.
So, speaking of the listener, our listener Aaron, who bought a Subaru from Sport Subaru.
He did. You gonna throw him in the center?
Right there in John Young Parkway, North John Young Parkway.
Yes.
Right by my house. You should have came over.
Mike Stacks.
Oh, you live in the wetlands that
I
they
do,
took all
I
the
do.
trash out of? Do you know Subaru took all the trash out of your wetlands,
I know.
so you have a place to live?
And Aaron, before the show started, saying, "I met Busdeker once." You know, it was a thing. And I'm like, "Say, hold it," and then I'm like, "Yeah." So,
What?
What
did you do?
You got a microphone?
It's right there. Yeah, it's under.
Stall.
Sit between these two hunks of men here.
I'm not farting anymore.
Okay.
How you doing,
I'm not
Aaron?
farting anymore.
I took your back.
I'm not gay no more. Remember that guy?
boy.
Oh, I love that guy.
So
He's
first,
gay.
thanks for
He's
supporting our
really
sponsor. This is the second Subaru you purchased, correct?
Yeah.
High roller.
Hold on, let me get his
Wow.
face on the camera here. I gotta see.
Oh,
if
you
I
don't
can-
have
All the
to.
Subarus.
It's okay.
Okay, I'll leave you off. I'll
Okay.
leave you off.
Yeah.
All right, you're the boss.
So, explain to us how you met Busdeker for the first time and what was the
Paint the
scenario.
picture.
So I was at the Publix in College Park.
All right,
And,
that's my Publix.
The,
Yep.
the Keanu public.
And I actually had just come back from the dealership, and I parked there to grab some dinner to grill. I get out of my car, start walking, and I hear somebody go, "Nice magnet." And I'm like, what the fuck?
Nice magnet. I'm a nerd.
I probably said nice magnet. I didn't say it like that.
Nice
Continue.
magnet.
So I heard
MAGA.
magnet, and I'm like,
Okay.
what is he talking about?
Nice
and I turn
MAGA
around.
hat. Nice MAGA hat.
I turn around,
Rock her
and this tall dude opens his truck, turns it on, and I go, what? And he goes, nice magnet. And
Nice
I'm like,
MAGA hat.
I'm thinking he's talking about a magnet, and I had opened my trunk to get something. I'm like, I don't have a net. What the fuck is he talking about? So then he walks out after he started his big truck.
Nice magnet.
Walks out from behind it, and he goes, oh, sorry, you probably couldn't hear me over the truck. He goes, nice magnet, and points at the Tom and Dan magnet I had. And I go, oh, hey.
I've
And
said
then-
it 3 times. God
Yeah.
damn, leave me alone, Busdeker.
So-
I'm Busdeker. I'm from Tom and Dan too. I want you to recognize me.
Yeah, so-
I'm on a cruise.
Do you want my autograph?
Hey. I'm surprised he did give me a hey.
I probably did.
Hey, nice magnet.
I'm the booby duke.
So then I turn around and I go,
I'm Mo DeWitt's gay slave.
I go, oh, hey, thanks. And I go to turn and walk in, and it
my
clicks
God.
in my head because I recognize his voice on the third time, and I turn around and I go, are you John Busdeker? He goes, oh, nice that you
You
noticed
finally
me.
noticed me. I love it.
I already had the autograph written. I was
Waiting
waiting.
to the time. Would you like a photo?
I think he's making this story up. I don't remember any of this.
That's why Busdeker hates me so much, because me and him are real
Like
alike.
looking into a mirror.
Yeah.
Like looking into a mirror, two cigarette
yeah.
dickheads.
Anybody who's like me hates me. That's the thing. Anyway.
But yeah, we had a nice conversation after that. It was just like between
Nice magnet.
barely hearing him and me being off of my own world. I didn't really understand what was going on. But yeah, that's
I was
how
hoping you were going to say he stole your shopping cart.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Push me out of the way. Get out of the way, nerd.
Yeah.
See, I would rather. See, you just described like an awkward, nerdy situation.
I didn't think it was awkward. I was fine.
Then I imagine Busdeker.
I'm trying to promote Tom and Dan. Reach out to listeners.
Yeah, he is.
See, I would rather Busdeker be insanely rude and spit on your face when you ask
Fuck
him.
you.
Because the completely opposite of his character that everybody wants. Because that's what I like. I like when celebrities or anybody like is the exact opposite of what they portray. It's kind of like the Ellen. That's what we like.
It kind of.
When Ellen's a horrible monster, and you're like, what?
But do
You're
you know?
squishy.
Do you know that Ellen being a monster?
they
Is
have-
this what you're talking about? Ellen being the monster makes me want to like her.
Yeah, but it's more entertaining when
yeah.
someone the opposite.
I don't
of what
think
you
she's a
expect.
monster either.
I want to
No, I
watch her.
don't.
I want to watch her.
That was big TV ruin it. You come at she pissed someone off, and they.
I want to watch
Really
her
can't
special. I want to watch her special. I
I
heard that
watched
she
it.
makes fun of.
It's not very good.
Oh, it's not very good. Okay, I won't watch it. All right.
All right, Aaron, you can get off the couch.
Yeah, you get the hell out
You're
of here.
making everybody awkward.
Good job, Aaron.
Good
Good job.
job.
Rubbing Busdeker's leg.
No, you're right. Like, and sometimes I do think, like,
Good job, Aaron.
when
Aaron.
when you hear like a lot of bad press about someone all
Yeah.
at once, you're like, this is kind of suspicious.
It's
like,
too much.
You're pushing it down our throats, you know. And
like, so what? She's not nice. If that's like, it's like she's a CEO. So of course she's gonna have some moments.
well, that it's sexist.
And
because
she's a lesbian.
Oh
so
God,
like,
this is like, people love it when you do this. This is like when Gideon's cookies. And Brendan
What did I
was
say
like,
about
get
Gideon?
the fucking work and make those goddamn cookies, you motherfuckers! And everyone's like,
Yeah, no, of course.
Brandon.
if she
They
were-
love you.
If she was a male, if she was a male daytime talk show host, this would never
yeah,
happen.
it would
because,
never even
No,
be
no,
a
no, no, no.
thing.
But it's because when she first came up, like
beloved.
everybody, like the producers and shit, were like, you're a little rougher on the edges. Can you do a little more dancing? Like, soften yourself up. Can you have a little more flowers and a little more dancing?
Yeah.
Even though, like, that's
We
not
were
her
like
personality.
happy gay,
Yeah.
not like aggressive,
Yeah.
dominant gay.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is, I don't think you get to choose that.
A
That's
little
not,
too
well,
bully.
Yeah. Well,
Dykey,
you also
dykey.
think about, you know, I
I
always,
can't say
How
that.
many slurs for gay people are you gonna say in one show?
I would say
he's
dykey.
allowed. He's allowed.
He's allowed.
He's
Okay,
absolutely
all right,
allowed.
all right.
I mean, I haven't
That's how the
confirmed it.
code works,
I
Buster.
have not confirmed this, but he told me in confidence he was gay. And I don't know.
And that was when his dick was in my mouth.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh,
Spray painting him at the time.
And I was spray painting his
yeah,
body
it
for
sounded
how
just like that.
And I was like,
Oh,
yeah, and I was like,
Thank you very much.
so I wanted to ask you guys a question, okay? Because I seriously don't understand.
He's got a gun.
it's not normal.
So a BDM on the BDM page made a post anonymously talking about how his company, he wants to get a medical marijuana card, but he's worried because his company drug tests. At
This
first,
is what I forgot to write down.
At first, he was talking about, like, is there some database that they could somehow know? A lot of people are worried about this, like, like they could check to see if I do have my card. You know, I'm like, people are worried. And there's a lot of responses and stuff. And I
I
believe.
zoned out. What card?
Well, medical marijuana
Oh,
card.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So.
Because of the medical marijuana.
If that happens. So.
That's exactly what happened. I just had a relapse. Like, it all just came out.
And so I made a post underneath it saying that I believe, and this is what I think, that companies, like, don't really care. But if there's an accident, they will drug test you. And I think it's mainly because of insurance reasons. Like, insurance doesn't want to pay claims, so they'll find out any reason not to pay them. And if you have any, drug in your system, that's a reason not to pay. So it's more of an insurance issue. And then,
Well, it's also drinking under the influence.
or
driving under the
well,
influence.
yeah.
Right,
Well,
right.
But I said it's different if you operate heavy machinery, you're in a trucking company like that. But that all still under insurance.
Yeah.
It's like, and so, but for the average company, I don't understand what their motivation is to find out if someone has or is taking THC. And
Insurance.
well, but regardless of
As a
insurance, it's
company.
only insurance, right?
It's probably. I mean, I'm not an attorney. Mo's the attorney, but like, I think
not-
it is. I think it is mostly
It's
insurance.
not federally legal, like so, like. If
And
you,
then they were talking about the federal, like you work for the government, and then people are like, "Oh yeah, because it's federally illegal." But even the
because
government,
county employees don't do it.
No.
you can't. You get drug tested
Yeah.
still if you work for the county, even though you could get a medical card. But
you can't tell them that you have a medical
No,
card; they'll
but-
fire you. Or
right.
you'll learn that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
So, or they won't give you your job. But
Somebody at
but are
Orange
they-
TV wanted me to make movies or do videos with them, like to do some sort of content with them.
Yeah.
And they said I'd have to, but I would go on as like a contract employee to do this work. And they said I'd have to pass a pot test or a drug test. And I said, well, I have a card and I smoke all the time, and I'm not gonna give up smoking
for this.
I'm thinking give up smoking for my fucking job, man. What are you, crazy? I'm not giving up smoking for nothing. Not my family, not my job, not nothing. I'm addicted, man.
For a part-time, I am addicted.
Yeah, me too. I'm straight addicted.
I can't stop.
Yeah, I'm smoking right now.
John keeps telling me, he's like, you keep complaining about smoking so much, just don't smoke so much.
Can't do it.
Just say no, bro.
But okay, if it's not, let's say put insurance out, because I understand the insurance motivation.
Okay, so is there any other reason?
What's the motivation?
Well, there might be a boss that doesn't approve of it for whatever
but
reason.
just morally.
It could be religious.
It could be.
It could be, religious. What? Insurance. We're talking, maybe you're around kids. Like, I know there are like we have that Yoga High series.
Yeah.
And it's just, you do yoga and you smoke. And it's sponsored by Cookies. Thanks, Cookies. But we have a photo policy now. If you have a red wristband, it means you don't take your photo. Because we have some people coming who are teachers or they work for the government, and it's not appropriate for their job if they're around kids or something that people know that they're smoking dope.
And that's if you get caught, but they're internally they're not out there trying to fire people for having THC in their system, because
it's just an excuse. You don't want an excuse.
I mean, like we were always told, right, at Clear Channel, I can only go on what we had. We were always told that they would do random drug testing, and that was not true. It was not. They did not do random drug testing.
Well, but did they do it if you got in an accident at work?
I can't. I don't know.
The insurance.
I'm guessing that they would. Yeah, but
Scotty can't smoke.
It was literally just a phrase. It was never a real thing.
Yeah.
It was not real.
Because I'm trying to figure out, is there other motivations that I'm not thinking about? Because I'm looking at
lack
like why
of productivity.
Could be that too. They're like, well, if you're not going to be as productive during the day, why should I pay you?
Yeah.
If you're smoking pot all day.
Yeah. Maybe
I'm not saying. I'm just.
But
I'm
the
just
drug
trying to
test
think of an
just
argument.
says that it's in your system. It could be in your system a month ago. Like, if you enjoy a joint on the weekends, there's not I can't imagine any owner of a company or anybody giving two shits.
No.
That they're
No, but
that
if you're a
their
shitty employee and you get caught smoking, they're like, oh, great.
Well, then that's a reason to do it, yeah. But besides from that, it's like, because people are terrified of getting drug tested, and I'm like, I don't think there's a motivation, unless you're a bad employee, to get because
or if you're not a risk
employees.
taker, right? Like, let's say you're like a Disney bus driver, okay?
Yeah.
And
Your driver
for
is
sure
different,
smoking pot.
but it is different if you were a driver. But let's just say you were a Disney bus driver and you're a great bus driver and you just happen to have your medical card, and then some car rear ends you, and it doesn't even matter what you were doing. You're going to get tested at that point and could use your job. So it really depends on if you want to take risks, right? If you're a nervous Nelly, like if you're like me, it would probably behoove you to not do it because it's just going to drive you nuts.
Behoove.
I need to use that more.
I like that.
And there should be a test to determine, I think there is, but the science is not out 100% yet, but to determine if you're actually high that day or if it means it's just been in your system. Because who cares? Like, that's stupid. Like, you're allowed to, I mean, shit.
In my off time, I should be able to. That's what the chat room's saying, is basically like, I have a hard time
drink
with
alcohol.
Yeah,
I can do
can do
pain
whatever the fuck I
pills.
want to in my off time.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not. This is a category some controlled drug, right? Right, policeman?
Right. I'm not a police
Well,
officer.
federally.
I don't work for the sheriff's office.
You're not a pot guy?
No.
You never smoked pot?
I have.
You
I have.
What does
But
it feel like? What do you feel like? When you
every
go crazy?
time, no, I will say,
You're
every
such a
time I
liar.
smoked pot, I would always drink too, and so it was never a good combo. So maybe I've just never had a good experience.
He turns into an abusive,
Yeah.
awful
I
person.
start
slapping,
You got a microdose.
Starts slapping his wife's horse
Killed
around.
2 hookers in
yeah.
Detroit.
So, on
ate
to the
them.
next thing. I saw on Bungalore.com
Oh!
God,
that
I should get you a dictionary.
He said it right.
Yeah, lore.
Are you saying lore? Bungalore?
Like bungalore, like almost like it's like folklore.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
you find it. If
Not
you
wrong. Yeah, I like it.
That they're doing this. What is it called? The Operation Blue Roof.
Yeah.
And basically, it's they'll come and tarp your roof after
For free.
for free.
Wow.
Like they're sending like government. What are they called? Like the engineers, the Army Corps of Engineers. They'll go and tarp your roof. And
I feel like there's a better use of that.
well, there's a lot of they. I don't know.
Like they could just fix your roof.
Well, like you can find somebody else to put a tarp on your roof. You don't need an
It's not
Army
a
Corps
tarp.
of
It's not just a
Engineer.
tarp though. It's like a fancy, like
Yeah.
rip resistant.
It says Army Corps of Engineers.
It's weighted.
Yeah, it's some sort of special like.
All right.
They
I want a
fit
fancy
it.
tarp.
They fit it to your roof.
Do you
like,
need to have
tuck in the
damage to get one of
corners.
these, or can I
Yeah.
get one?
It's not like a preemptive thing.
It's
like
not
a,
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but
Yeah.
but it's like taxpayers. The
to
government's
buy
doing it
you
for
time
you.
to
Yeah.
get your roof fixed.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's a cool thing that the
That is
state
cool.
of Florida is doing for people that have damage that you have to pay for that normally.
Yeah.
But my question is, why don't they make the tarps different
Dark?
color?
Oh,
Like
like a black
roof.
one, like a black one.
Yeah, black or brown.
Good question.
They make them blue, and it's so obvious and tacky looking, and
No.
that is like make them brown or.
This is not the dumbest thing Tom has ever said.
I'm honest, because they've shown a picture of all these
Well,
blue
why don't you
roofs.
just make it look like a roof?
Yeah.
I've
Make
seen
it
people
single.
use. I've seen people use billboard vinyl, which I thought was
Maybe they
funny.
can sell billboards on these roofs.
right.
Yeah, we'll put a Tom and Dan
I would do one
advertisement.
right now.
Yeah.
If anybody wants their roof tarped with a Tom and Dan tarp, we'll do it. Right? That's a good idea.
We have an old billboard in
Yeah.
storage. I don't know how long they hold on to for you, but I do. They put them in storage.
yeah.
They'll like.
I
The
have
guy
one of
told
me
me
as a merman.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was on a
wow.
billboard as a merman. I have it all folded up in my studio.
That's awesome.
I'm just saying, like, you should make them, especially in Florida,
Yeah.
a different color than bright ass cartoon blue.
It is
Okay,
interesting.
the answer
it's
to
kind of a
this-
shame thing too, right? Because they're like, oh,
Yeah, but I bet you the
Yeah.
answer to this is that they've tested. I bet you it has something to do with the manufacturing process and natural coloring.
I mean,
think it's-
dark's probably not good because the sun would absorb it, so it'd get hot. Right?
Yeah,
If it was black,
I wonder if that color is it an additive? Could they just make it white?
I think it's
I'm
just
sure they
because
could.
No reason.
they just don't make a lot of different colored tarps, and it's easy for them.
The only ones I see are blue and silver. That weird camping
It's
silver.
owned by some straight guy who just doesn't give a shit. He's just like,
You want a
They make
rainbow?
brown.
You want a rainbow
I've seen
tarp?
brown. Yeah, I've seen brown.
They make different colored
Yeah, I've
tarps
seen
at like
brown.
Home Depot, but for this initiative, they're using special government
Yes.
shit.
are painted.
Like-
what? Why isn't it like a
A camo.
camo's funny? That's funny.
Yeah, we
Like
have
you're
some
out
guys
in your
that have
house.
camo in the chat room.
You could do camo tarps.
But like
No, he has a camel tarp or camo rather, not
Camel.
a camel tarp. Hey, I can see it.
I can see it. Camel
I can
tarp.
see it. What happened to camel tarp? Is that still a thing now?
Yeah, and moose knuckles.
Yeah, and ninja foot. We're having a battle now. You go.
Oh.
That's funny.
Oh, we'll end with this
Okay.
because this is true that we've been experiencing, and I've seen it happen recently. So the craft beer industry
man. Hurting right
is
now.
is hurting.
Oh yeah.
And breweries are hurting, and there's breweries closing down everywhere. And then, like, even with our beer fest, like getting we'll go through all the beers and breweries that are coming out to our beer fest, but it's way harder this year than it ever has been.
I hope you guys like mushrooms. 'Cause it's all gonna be like all little tents with little mushrooms.
Maybe like a water fest because all those
mean?
fancy
Yeah.
waters they
Yeah,
come
hydrate.
up
Like
with.
ones that aren't in distribution, or just people aren't drinking as much craft beer
I think
Correct.
that's the problem. and-
because our buying power's down.
It's got to be something like that because I've seen some breweries closing down recently.
I think a little bit of it is also like you can get a fancy beer anywhere now. Like 10, 15 years ago, if you wanted like a crazy IPA, you had to go to a brewery because they didn't have it at every single bar. But now I can go to any bar and get any beer.
But
I mean,
there
the
are
chat
some
room-
breweries that are always full.
Oh,
here,
they're
though.
great. I love
Yeah,
them. Those,
I mean,
but
Tactical does
They do a
well. I
great
mean,
job.
they do well, and
Yeah,
I think
it's not
I also
happening
think
to
they're
everybody,
in a
but-
wonderful area. Like if I like to be the community brewery
Yeah.
that Tactical is in Baldwin, I think is man, they got to be like literally like thanking their lucky stars that they're in an area that's walkable for craft beer.
Baldwin Park shows up too.
They
like
do.
If they like you, they come
They-
out.
and they like you a lot. I know that.
but the margins are small
yeah.
on beer. You got to sell a lot of beer to pay your employees, to pay the rent, to pay all the equipment.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's like a
I
hard
think
business.
Ivanhoe's the only one that's really doing that the best because their distribution for Ivanhoe Brewing is just crazy.
they
But
seem to have it down pat.
like I said, I can go to Publix now and get all kinds of beers. They're not as cool as maybe some of the craft beers that are made at the
Ivanhoe's in
brewery, but
Publix.
I can if I'm not that into it, I can get an IPA, I can get a stout, I can get anything anywhere.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Yeah, well, the chat room
it
was
wasn't
kind
a-
of going through like
it
Sanford
wasn't a
Brewing is
question.
closing down. They were mentioning that a lot of them
was-
are not drinking now.
Sanford Brewing's closing though because they did a weird borrowing structure. They had
Yeah.
to repay their loan every week.
It seemed like
I didn't have a chance to read all that.
It was a very aggressive thing they opted
It's what
in
he's saying.
to,
anyway.
I've talked to 3 other brewery owners, and they all told me the same thing, that it's a rough time.
You need to have more than just beer at your brewery. Like the beer can't just carry you. You need to have events. You need to have food. Because, like I said, I can get beer anywhere. So why do I need to go all the way across town to your brewery?
Sideward's great, and you gotta have killer events.
I love Sideward.
Yeah,
my daughter
Sideward's
loves
great.
Sideward because they got boiled peanuts. So you bring your kid there, give her a couple things
Good
of boiled
food.
peanuts.
Deadwood's closed because they were on OBT. They didn't do any events. It was a destination brewery. They didn't serve their community, so like that kind of.
Your beer is not the draw.
Yeah,
It's
and they had
everything
great
else.
beer.
Yeah, they did.
And a beautiful brew room. Like that tap room
it was
gorgeous.
probably the best. Like, no offense to anybody, but it was one of the best looking rooms. The way it was set up, the way the lights were engineered, the sign in the background.
Well, Ivanhoe runs it now, and it's the exact same.
Yeah,
Just
it's
different
their
beer.
ale room, right? Or did they change that concept?
No, yeah.
They were just doing,
But, like,
or they
other
were just
stuff
doing
there.
pilsners,
Lagers.
or lagers. That's what it was. Yeah,
And they're doing like
their
foam
food is
shots.
great there.
Oh, the food is so good.
You have to go there.
What are you guys talking about on tonight's Bungalow on the
What
Bus?
are we talking
We're talking about downtown Orlando and how they're gonna change it.
Oh, yeah.
Mayor Dyer wants to change it. Plus, they're supposed to open that new 3,500 seat venue downtown. Build it. Start building
across
it.
from the Kia Center.
Okay, yeah.
What 3,500 seat?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it'll be like Hard Rock, House of Blues,
Owned by Live
comparable.
Nation.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
in the new Magic Entertainment District. It's
Probably,
called
it's
West
probably
Court.
2 years away.
Is
though.
the idea in 2 years to start funneling all Live Nation partnerships with smaller venues down the road downtown?
I
would
think so.
And
Yeah.
actually, I'm not sure how long House of Blues is going to be.
Right,
at
I know.
Disney Springs.
I know.
Right. I think they're the last
Original,
non-partner
yeah.
venue
Yeah.
in Disney Springs. I think
I
everybody
read
else
that-
is like, yeah, right.
Yeah, you are correct on that. I'm almost positive you are because I think I read that last week. There was an article about that, and they were kind of wondering sort of the same thing.
Interesting.
That spot could be cannibalized by Disney, and then
It's so close together. It's comparable sizes, crowds. But someone did say in her comments maybe that Disney could limit what sort of acts they get at House of Blues.
They've always done that. And
So maybe by having this downtown
Yeah.
satellite location, they can get other acts that they can't
get
at
whatever
Disney
they
Springs.
want.
Yeah, well, like Disney's always it's weird, and the way that they pick and choose, at least from friends that I have that run back of house and musician friends will say that the rhyme or reason that Disney uses for who they bring in or who they don't bring in doesn't make any sense. You know, like you'll have like you'll say no to Ghost because Ghost is a tongue-in-cheek satanic metal band, but then you'll let Chris Brown play. You know, like, and people have a problem. I don't, because I don't care.
Well, if you're going to make a determination,
a moral determination. How
yeah,
about the woman beater, not the fake satanic guy? 'Cause
Yeah,
that guy's not satanic. And my daughter's favorite metal band is Ghost. Like Maisie loves Ghost. It's her band. But my point, like
that's part of the act.
yeah,
as
I actually
opposed
did.
to-
That was a pretty decent example.
That's
but
a
yeah,
good example, yeah.
that was actually a decent example. But that is the thing that people get mad about. They're like, well, like, why are you saying no to that? Well, that's because that reflects your image. The other one is something people don't care about, don't talk about.
I guess, or they just have a list of things that they're just given. You know,
True.
So that someone just says these are the naughty ones.
That's more like it.
Here's
you
your
know?
naughty
Nobody
list.
looks at.
Yeah.
Nobody reasons. Nobody uses logic. You
I
just
don't
get
think
your
so.
marching orders and do it.
And I guess that size venue, there's really only Dr. Phillips.
And that's all seats, sit down.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
would probably
Not
be like
concert.
shows.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
concerts.
Single, two-story. I can't remember. I have the
I don't
basic
know.
rendering right now up on bungalow.com.
That's
if you wanna
exciting.
see
It's
it.
cool though. I think it's cool, but like probably 2 years away at least.
Yeah,
2 or 3.
They break ground next year. 2027 is when it's done. Yeah, for
I
the
like
whole
that.
thing.
It makes sense because there's a lot of acts that are not. If they come to Orlando, they are in the nothing against the House of Blues or Hard Rock, but that's a little far
The
for
city
us.
wants it too because it's easier for them to control.
And they want
what's
to bring
happening
people
there,
in, yeah.
and they're having issues with downtown operators like the Beacham and the Social, who are actually suing them for their after-hour midnight liquor sales permit that they're doing. Like you have to get a special permit to stay open after midnight in downtown.
No, they're getting them with the
Yeah, and
The
if
old
you
midnight.
in order to
we
do
tried to do
that
that with our listeners. If you listen to our show after midnight, that's actually $1. We tried to do that. It doesn't work. They're like, "Fuck you, Dad." I'm like, "I need the money." Help.
Well,
We're the craft beer podcast.
I can
don't
see
know if you
why
know.
they're
Yeah.
mad
Or-
because
no.
they're just like, we're just gonna invent a new rule that makes you pay us more.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, in
fuck
order
you.
to get the permit, you have to pay for off-duty police officers, and depending on the size of your venue,
That can be very.
you have to have multiple. Like
Yeah.
the Beecham has to have. I think they said, at least 3, 6.
Yeah, it was like 15,000 a month, and just off
Holy
duty.
smokes.
Just an off-duty police, and those officers aren't guaranteed to be on your property. They're just floating around downtown. So they're paying 15 grand. Their neighbor's paying maybe $100,
Right.
and then they never see those officers. That's crazy.
Hold on, I love paying $250 an hour for a cop to sit in his car outside my business and scroll TikTok.
Sign us up. Sign us up.
Brilliant. All right,
You want to get out of here, buddy?
let's get out of here.
Did we plug everything? And hey, thanks to our listener, buddy. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank
you
you.
for using our sponsors.
What
we
a
appreciate
gentleman.
that.
Well,
Enjoy
that
your
story
car.
you told about me.
Yeah. You really pissed off Busdeker.
We'll see the BDMs tomorrow at Hollabox.
What time you getting there, buddy?
A little before. Well, we got. I was talking to Chef Pat
We gotta
about
do
getting there a
something.
little
Why'd
early.
you guys choose to do something on Come Out with Pride?
The what?
I know. We forgot.
Amazon Prime. I'm in. They got money.
yeah, that's what I said.
Are you doing anything with Pride?
Pride, it's the Pride Parade, so I try to always crash somebody's float.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
When
we got
when is that?
we got a last minute
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, we had
I don't know what's going on.
I thought you were an ally, Tom.
We had some listeners reach out and they wanted us to promote their big event downtown. They still want everybody to know. We do have like a lot of gay listeners and they want you to know it's happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come out, be a part of it. It's going to be super fun. I have tickets in VIP, but we've got too much.
That's what we
going
were
on.
doing last night. That's why I still have pink in my beard, because we did a pre-fest.
Oh, that's awesome.
I only promote things when people pay me. I haven't seen any gay money. Gotta have the money.
And you got a house and I don't. So
I'll promote anything.
That's how it works.
Whatever you want, I'll promote it for money. I don't know if no one knew that.
I will
That's
always
the
be
business,
living in
man.
a shitty duplex. That's what I learned.
All right, y'all. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. And on that note, we will see you Monday.
Booby doo.